Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Daytona and the TDR Vets and First Responders League in Season 6. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Tommy Haybear and Jay Donham. Jay, how you feeling tonight, bud?
I'm feeling great tonight. We are at Daytona. Uh, Last time we were here, it got hot, heated, heavy, and exciting on that last lap. I can't wait to see what the boys bring tonight. Tommy, how are you feeling, bud?
I'm doing okay. I found out recently that I'm allergic to work, so I'm glad to be up here in the booth with a chance to have some fun with you guys and watch some excellent pack racing here at Daytona.
Absolutely, and that's what it's going to be. We got 12 cars showed up tonight, and these guys are going to be fighting it out. You can see a little bit here as they're starting to get that drafting practice in, and with 10:46 left, there's a lot of practice left to get, but Andy's already reached out and said Daytona. So yeah, we already know about that. Brad Hunt, let's go, fellas. And Ace Nate 3 said, yo, 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 what's up, y'all? And then I believe we saw a special person out there. You might want to call that one top.
Yeah, Kelly cheering for Brian Boyd. I believe that is Brian Boyd's mother. So nobody out here is a bigger fan of that particular car on track. And if we can, just do a reward here for tuning in and chiming in tonight. I'm going to see if I can get Brian Dowd up here in the booth real quick.
Sure, bring him in here. Always good to see him out there in a Mission 22 car. Looks very good tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, Brian, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
Hey, Tommy, what's going on?
Doing good, but got a special guest out in YouTube land. I believe that's your mother that tuned in
Yeah.
to cheer you on the night.
That's correct. My mom, my aunt, and my aunt and son. Yes.
Nice, nice. What are you feeling out there? I know you said you were gonna bring us something at Vegas. Didn't quite work out for you. How you feeling going into Daytona?
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Well,
Really confident, actually.
All right. Well, last week you made a promise, so we're expecting to see you up there at least battling for the lead midway, if not towards the end of this thing.
I'll be up there trying to mess around for the lead early on, and then I'll back off for a little
All right.
bit.
Well, it's really good to see that Mission 22 car. It looks really good on track tonight, and good luck tonight, bud.
Hey, thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Hey, thank you guys.
I wish we had time to get somebody in the booth pre-race every night.
Well, we do, but the problem is we talk too much. We get too excited, and the next thing you know, we're down to qualifying, and then take it 1 minute left with the with
That's
our
what they pay us
sponsors. So.
I get paid by the
Speaking of
word.
sponsors.
Isn't that how your contract's set up?
It is set up that way, absolutely. So that's why sometimes it's hard to shut me up. But I think it's time that maybe we get some of these sponsors out of the way, some of our great sponsors here tonight. What do you think, Tommy? And then we can focus here back in Daytona as they're starting to heat up there in that pack racing.
Absolutely, got to pay these bills and keep the lights on.
We'll start with always with B&B Wraps.
Yeah, B&B Wraps up in Pennsylvania. He actually provides the season trophies for the TDR Veterans and First Responders League. Really great looking 3M vinyls pressed on a board, something they can hang on the wall to show that they were better than their other brothers in arms. Facebook.com/B.B Racing Wraps. From coffee cups to semi-trucks, B&B Wraps can get it done.
McConey Setup Shop.
McConey Setup Shop, we talk about him every week. We've talked about him every week for at least the last year and a half, I think, up here in the booth. Huge supporters of the TDR community, huge supporters of this league. We love everything they do. Go check out their website, McConeySetupShop.com. They've got setups, paints, guides, live training. Their Discord's always popping with guys that want to help you out. McConeySetupShop.com. Their setups, your victories.
Back Charities.
Well, we actually have the president of Back Charities, Andy Shaner, in the booth with us. If he's got his cans on, I'll let him do the plug on this one.
Oh, baby. Back charities. Guys, get back with back. So many exciting things going on. I know we're already working with the Daytona Children's Hospital to set up the teddy bear event coming up. We will collect donations for teddy bears to go to children at Dayton Children's Hospital this coming Christmas. Another exciting thing, Tommy just had a huge meeting with Stella. And if you guys remember, Stella is the provider of the SGB that we got for Dean Webb, which eliminates PTSD for anybody suffering from PTSD. Veterans obviously are our heart, and we try to help them out with that. But Tommy's got had a meeting with them, and we may be partnering with them with some more things going on. Also, Back Charities has a big event coming up 4th of July. TDR
Big
Track Days. TDR Track Days, Brownstown and Salem Speedways. We will be there promoting Back Charities and TDR, watching some exciting racing, but also promoting all the great things that TDR and Back Charities does. We are seeking donations at this current time for Track Days to help us out with some things that need to go along with that. If you do make a donation, please be aware that at least half of your donation will stay with the charity and not go towards the event to do other things like get other vets the SGB block. So if you could reach out with your hearts and wallets and go to backcharities.com, make a donation today.
Yeah, and on that note, Andy, stay tuned to the Back Charities page. We will have some information coming out about this SGB block. The meeting I had was very informative. I learned a lot of stuff I had no clue was involved in this procedure. So that media will be rolled out here in the next couple weeks as soon as they get it over to me. And hopefully we can do a little bit more outreach this year than we did last. I'm really looking forward to it.
And that'll clear up our sponsors for the evening. Hopefully we have that special guest later.
Oh yeah. Special guest Doug Burns from How to Suck at iRacing. He may or may not be able to make it in, but he's got a little event going on Wednesday. Some of our drivers are involved with, so we're gonna let him talk about that if he's able to. And then Wednesday night, I will actually be in his booth assisting him broadcasting that race.
There you go. So you can catch a lot of up and coming, exciting racing going on in between TDR communities. We're going and crossing over, and another great charity event coming up on Wednesday night. So you can all check that out. Tommy, do you know what channel that's going to be on? If anybody's out there and is interested in watching it.
I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think Doug streams on the Facebook platform. So it would be How to Suck at iRacing on the Facebook platform, appropriately titled If I Were the Driver.
All right, so there you go. Go check that out on the Facebook platform, How to Suck at iRacing. And right now, Janelle reached out. Janelle was in the booth for that last exciting call. Glad to see her out there watching tonight. Good evening, all. Excited for Daytona? Absolutely. And Paul Vosberg, Captain Vosberg, is still fighting. There's a big fire out there and right above Phoenix and out in Arizona. And Captain Paul Vosberg, we wish you well. Stay safe, pal. We miss you out there on the track for sure. So let's go BizNet and hope this race is exciting as Talladega last season. So absolutely. But without you out there, we don't have anybody to really cheer on. I was kind of hoping you would be out there tonight, but I do understand that those fires take precedence. So be safe and be careful out there. And thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. And speaking of drivers absent from the track this evening, this league does have a lot of part-timers because of their civic service. They can't always make the time to be here. And I can't help but notice one of the stars from last season, Ryan Shelton, not here tonight.
Last week he was off because of had house problems, but I have not heard from Ryan since then. I don't know what's going on, why he's not out here with us tonight.
Well, he made a post earlier in the Discord, and I think it got buried behind pictures of my chili and the link to the race tonight. But he just stated he wasn't going to be here. I didn't have time to do any outreach, so we don't know what he's dealing with. But obviously, he doesn't want to miss races, so it must be something very important. So we wish him a speedy taking care of it.
Yeah, take care out there, bud.
Yeah, Ryan, hope everything's all right, buddy. Miss you on the track. But I gotta say to you, if you're out there listening, you promised a championship victory this year.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of promises, Brian Boyd last week promised us a great race at Vegas. Didn't work out for him, and he says he's very confident tonight. So with that being said, who are your picks for Super Speedway Racing?
Oh. Let's see. We got 12 drivers. Any one of them can actually win this thing. So my pick.
True.
We actually have 14 in the field.
Say Andrew Biznet has been looking really strong. He knows how to get it done on this track. I did see him try a little bit of that side drafting. I've seen nobody else try that. He does have experience in the car. I know Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson does as well. But I'm going to go with actually Andrew Biznet to try and pull off his first victory tonight in the Vets and TDR First Responders League. That's my pick for the evening. Dustin?
I gotta go with Brian Boyd. We were racing on Saturday night, testing for that special event coming up Wednesday, and he gave me some tips on how to race some super speedways, and they worked pretty good. So I think he's gonna be racing up front. He's gonna race strong. I think he's gonna show these guys something in the field. Maybe he'll give out them secrets that maybe he found to some of these guys, and we'll see what happens. But the setup secrets he gave me for the little bit we can do with fixed setups work pretty good. I think he'll be up front. I think he's gonna battle for it. That's my pick for the night, Brian Boyd.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these part-timers: Larry Patrick, Brad Youngman, Robin Parton, Stephen Green, Christopher Rowling, Christopher Strawn. These are drivers that don't make every race. They're not always in a points contention, but I think any one of them would be more than happy to take home that W today.
Absolutely, and it's an open
So-
field. Andy,
How
who
about
do you
you,
think?
Andy?
Well, I was going to take the field versus all your picks, but Tommy went ahead and did that.
I like winning, sir.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick, we talked about the teddy bear race with back charities, and I'm going to take the victor of the teddy bear race last year. That was Ryan Walter.
Yeah.
Tell you what, tonight is not one of those nights where there's never a bad pick.
We actually have two people that have checked in at the gates tonight that have not put down a practice lap. That would be newcomer, I think it's Brian White, right? And Sean Warrup has not put down a lap, from what I see.
Oh, sure.
Sean Ward, there is a name there we have not heard. Glad to hear him back on track. Hopefully they can make it in session here as they got 4 seconds left to practice before they start the qualifying run.
I think they're in session. I just don't think they put down a time. I know he was just on track a little bit ago, but I don't know if I've seen Sean on the track at all.
Right, another person that's missing who's usually up front that I do not see on the board, and that is actually a couple of them. Unless I'm missing something here, but Robert Cochran, I don't see his name up there, and I don't see Chuck McDonald, two of our regulars, another couple of guys that are up
Robert
there.
Cochran, I believe, was missing this race. This was his drop week. I cannot remember what he was saying he had going on. I feel sorry for Robert if you are watching this, but I do remember you saying you missing this race. We do miss you, Robert. Hopefully you're having fun with whatever you're doing.
It's interesting that you say that about Robert, because he is hanging out with the drivers.
He is. I also
on
saw
the
Chuck
radios.
McDonald walking down pit road.
Yeah.
And he's also in our YouTube chat as well. Robert Cochran is as well. So Robert, if you're out there, let us know what you're doing while you're not racing tonight. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, if he's not on the track, he's probably up in the stands crew chief.
Right. Yeah, and he just did chime in and say, go vets and first responders. So Robert Cochran did chime in. And also Ethan just chimed in and said, I'm a bad pick. Last time Ethan said that I believe you were around a couple of laps. You already owe 25 cents to the fib jar. So let's...
I just noticed something interesting as we get qualify going. We have open qualifying tonight, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. You didn't hear?
I didn't hear that.
Well, that's not a
I missed the pre-meeting.
These are going to be some fast qualifying
I'm going to go
times.
out. I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell you that qualifying doesn't mean a whole lot at Daytona.
Well, it doesn't, but I like the idea of open qualifying because it means if you don't get a lap in, you're guaranteed to start at the back, and you don't always want to be there. I mean, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I think with a field this size, putting down a qualifying time starting up front could help you out because in these leagues, we see a lot of green flag runs. Even though it is Daytona, these guys know how to drive.
Well, it all depends on who's going to want to be the one on lap 2, lap 3 that goes, I'm taking that bad boy up the middle and we're going 3 wide. And if they can stick it, good for them. If they can't, well, good luck to the rest of the field.
I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty. I've taken out the field before
Ethan,
very early.
I am Mr. Middle, to be honest with you. I am Mr. Middle.
Yeah, he is.
Usually I can stick it. I can run, from almost the mid to the back of the field, straight up the middle, up to, the first, 2-3 rows deep and tuck in line there. And it's exciting to do, but man, your heart gets going.
I'll tell you, when Andy and I got on the track together more consistently, there were many a time where I would follow him up the middle, and it's scary, but I mean, you got somebody behind you, you can do it.
Yeah, it's all about the line, getting that momentum and keeping that momentum up. And we've noticed a lot with these next gen cars that, side draft is key to passing. You can actually take somebody by yourself on the outside. If you get that run and you just keep, the key is getting right on that back quarter pumper, quarter panel, pulling them back. That gives you the momentum to shoot you forward, and then doing the same to the car in front of them, kind of creating that separation. So it can be
Leapfrogging
done.
the side draft.
It is
so to speak.
leapfrogging. It is leapfrogging, but I have done it and on accident with Thomas Rule and Dustin actually in the booth. So Dustin can vouch that when they were running two, that we did actually get it to work, and that has become pretty much a staple on how you can do it by yourself, and you can get past guys by yourself on the outside if need be.
That's when
So
that
if you look
side
at this
draft gets
qualifying
dangerous.
session that we're looking at, and these guys that are qualifying right now, really, as far as qualifying goes, the 77 of Ryan Walter, he's probably got the worst chance of qualifying good. You do not want to be up front in a group qualifier because you are not going to be the fastest car.
I went to these guys while they're
Maybe
group
he's just
qualifying.
practicing winning.
I was going to these guys group qualifying because they were actually like 3x2, two on the outside. It's like that's not how you qualify. You want to be in the pack. You don't want to be racing. This is like an extended practice for these guys. They're trying that side draft, like Jay was alluding to.
Extended practice, but now it matters. You can't send it. You don't want to wreck it in qualifying, right? I mean, maybe they do want to start at the back, but I think in a field this size, I do think track position is going to be important in this particular race.
So if I were these guys right now, I'd be hanging about the third position. I would be off about 2 to 3 car lengths starting the back stretch.
Kind of how BizNet is right now.
You want to, and you're going to suck up. You're going to suck up through the corner here, and then what's going to happen is you should get the momentum off to the corner to actually have the speed time. We're not talking about passing here, but obviously he is the faster car. As you can see him closing the gap, he is now the fastest car going down that way.
As you say that, he did. That was his fast lap. He 48.31.
So I just walked everybody through how to group qualify on a super speedway.
Thank you, Andy.
And Robin Pardon's right there in second. I mean, like you said, I got group qualifying, so obviously the draft comes into effect here. How you play the draft, that's going to be your starting position. But you got guys that are going to want to stay back tonight. The guys that like to hang in the back and then work their way towards the field towards the very end. And then you guys that like to be up front and try and be there all night and stay ahead of the trouble. So irregardless, it only takes one little mistake and one little lapse of judgment, and you could take out the entire field, as we've seen numerous times at these events. So Daytona's Daytona. It's its own little beast, and it's going to be fun. I'm not sure how many laps are going tonight. Does anybody have an
85 laps.
Ethan Thompson actually chimes in a chat earlier. He says, I'm a bad pick for tonight.
Yeah, that's what we were alluding to earlier, but he already fibbed to us once, so we're really not going to. We're going to ignore that comment.
Last week he was on the pole. Yeah. Last week he was on the pole, ended up winning the race. He said that was the only point he was going to get. And
well, no, Devin won last week.
Devin did win.
What is on the hood of that 01 car?
That is
spread the something.
I got new camera operations, so I'm trying to get this figured out.
No, you're good. Figure it out in qualifying because there's a race coming up.
Right, and these guys are pretty.
That's not the one I wanted.
We've had.
That's the one I wanted. That looks good.
Christopher Rawlings had it was too close to the other cars starting the backstretch, which is why he was not able to pull the speed on this group qualifier. You watched Andrew Biznett do it 100% perfectly. You've got to start the backstretch 2 to 3 cars deep. And right now, here, we got Christopher Rawlings. He's 2 to 3 cars behind that other car. Let's see what kind of time he pulls up now.
The 01 is, the 01's doing a spreaddreadpodcast.com.
Yeah, I see that. I thought that paint scheme looked really sharp from up in the air.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty.
Now he caught Yoakum a little too fast, which is going to mean
Slow him down.
He probably had to slow down to not run him over.
And then he lost the draft going to the start finish, so that's not going to be a good lap for him. As they both went into pit road and left Rollins out to dry. So
we saw Andrew Bisnett's fast time get demolished by Devin Zimmerman's time at
Devin Zimmerman,
47.83.
Ryan Walter, and Ethan Thompson, and Brian Boyd must have a group going because they flew.
That's right here. Here's the group.
Yeah, definitely asserting dominance here.
Zimmerman, Walter, Thompson. I mean, these guys are proven winners out here, and they're showing how to do it. And like I said, they're not really on each other's bumper. You can tell they're just hanging back a little bit and then trying to get that big run at the end.
Yeah,
Well, if
three
you're
out
just
of those
going off
four.
of time, yeah, and that's the difference. Come race, it's much different. You want to be on the bumper, but if you're going off of time and pure speed, you need to be a little bit away and suck up and grab that speed as you're getting that draft. That's the key to qualifying in this situation.
Zimmerman just hanging right there at the back of Boyd's bumper.
You can,
Hey.
you can almost see the wind lines on either side of the car.
No, that's the track and the state that you're in just from that camera angle.
I can smell colors.
I can smell colors. There's a lot of
That
colors
rainbow
out in that
number.
track tonight.
Right?
Yes, sir.
A lot of color. Hey, Sharon chimes in, says good evening to the booth. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Good to have you out there again. So we got our other biggest fan
Yeah,
out
we got
there tonight.
Old Perky cheering for Robert Cochran.
Yeah.
These are the
Perky.
only two left on the track.
And 1 second left of qualifying, so this is it. Last lap coming through. But even with Boyd right there leading the pack, like Tommy said, he's alluding to his fourth, and Zimmerman sits on the pole. That's because he knows how to use it. It's going to leave them out to dry, so we're going to be lining up here in just a few moments.
Devin's trying that one last pit stop to see how fast he can push it.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that during practice. They are going to have to make a pit stop here for fuel. Tires won't be that important, but most of these guys are okay at pit stops. There's
What-
nobody out there that's really great. We've seen everybody slide through, and that could be a very huge determining factor tonight.
What is a fuel run at at Daytona? Like how many laps? Isn't it like only like 30 or
It
40?
should be about 35 to 30.
So they're probably gonna have to make two if they're going 85 laps, depending on cautions.
Depending
Yeah,
on
I mean-
cautions, depending on how much they could save fuel staying behind somebody. So leader's going to pretty much determine that.
So let's all talk about our picks
Mhm.
for the night and,
Okay.
and where they qualified. I can tell you my pick is sitting there on the front row in P2.
Yeah, but you also said, Andy, that qualifying does not matter at Daytona.
It does not.
Well, Andrew's sitting fifth, so
My picks. Well, if you look at Tommy's pick, the field, he's
Right,
sitting
my
pretty
nine
good right
picks are
now.
just outside the top five.
that's outside the top five, yeah. And,
Yeah, I think the field.
looking
when
good.
He picked the field. He picked some of the field. He didn't pick the field, which would have been Devin Zimmerman. It would have been in the field. But who did you pick there, Dustin?
Brian Boyd, setting P4, setting right outside start line behind your guy.
I was gonna say, you mean right
And-
behind first?
And the voice of Back Sports. Who'd you pick?
the voice?
You are the voice. Yes.
I am the voice. Okay,
You're the
so it's
voice.
me. I'm the voice. All right, so I guess that makes me an official Back Sports TDR spokesman here. So absolutely, Andrew Bisnet is up there. Brian Boyd is up there. Ethan Thompson, Ryan Walter, Devin Zimmerman. Definitely guys that can beat, bang, and know how to work their way to the front on any given racetrack. I've seen quite a bit of improvement just racing with these guys the last couple of weeks. Ryan Walter does have that knee problem, but he's getting better. Also known as RoboCop. We're missing Ryan Shelton, who I think would have been a little bit of a wild card, maybe been able to shake things up tonight. But like I said, you go all the way back to 14th, Bradley Hunt. If these guys can just remain in the pack, remain patient for at least through the first pit stop, I'd say probably if you're going to stay in the back, you're going to have to start going probably around lap 20 to start working your way to the front, if that is your strategy. That mid pack, though, from 4th to 12th, that's going to be one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. I think there's a couple of new names that we're not familiar with. I'm sure they're all great racers out there. We've seen a few of them out there. Robin Pardon, Christopher Strawn, Christopher Rawling, Brad Yonkman. Sean Warb is making a return tonight, so great to see Sean out there tonight. Larry Patrick, Brian Wright, Stephen Green, who's been with us a few times, and Bradley Hunt. Bradley Hunt can be fast, but we got to see him get more towards the front. So he likes qualifying in the back. I'm not sure if that's where you'd want to be, unless your absolutely strategy is just to hang out, watch everything happen, and hope a caution or two comes out, get that lucky break on the pit stop, and maybe catch up with a couple of guys, 3 or 4 guys, and bring it to the front.
Yeah, Brian Wright, newcomer this evening too.
So that's going to be one of those. I'm sure Devin Zimmerman and we see a lot of great racing here. The first 25 laps, they're going to be side by side, 2 by 2, sometimes even 3 wide, just depending if somebody gets a little loose, somebody gets out of it, or somebody gets a run, creating that 3 wide. So it's going to be very exciting for the first 25 laps. Then it might settle down a little bit, go through the pit stops. Yet again, you have to be on point. No overshooting your pit, which we have seen. I can't tell you how many times the leader or one of the top guys that had a shot at winning, Ethan Thompson, shot himself in the foot by overshooting. We've seen Devin Zimmerman actually we got trouble here.
Looks like
Andrew Biznet's moving to the back.
Looks like he gave himself an EOL possibly. I know Sean Warb, I think, has missed the start as well. So we're going green, boys.
All right. Well, the pace car drives down on that pit road as we come through that tri-oval, and
here we go.
Race number 3 is underway. Green is in the air. As you see, Devin Zimmerman has that help from Ethan Thompson on the bottom, and that's that top line is just not in check there. So once they get rolling down the backstretch up to speed, that should come into play, and they might be able to work their way to the front. But right now, Devin Zimmerman, Ryan Walter, who we saw earlier fall on that top line, is at the hands of Ethan Thompson on the bottom there. Brian Boyd, and there's just, look, everybody's diving down to the bottom. So I thought maybe, I guess with that start that they had, they really didn't have a chance to go too wide. So it should go single file here, working down lap 1. Let's take it away, Tommy.
Should be reaching about full speed now. At Daytona, this track is so large and the gearing is so long, it does take about a full lap to come up to speed. But I think we're going to see this inside line kind of stay the way it is for a while. I think these guys are going to play it safe, be patient. Some guys might try to make that outside line work, but I don't expect them to get too racy until we get to this first cycle of pit stops.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. It was just that first little bit of that start was really off. I mean, looks like Robin got a little bit loose there coming out of turn number 2. And now, Ethan Thompson's going to take the outside.
I think we all saw that coming.
So
way to prove me wrong, drivers.
And there you go. So it didn't take long, but that just shows that outside line can get working, because there was only Ryan Walter and Christopher Rawlings on that top line. And then, Ethan Thompson gets really high.
It's really
I don't think he touched the wall there, but
it was close up, but that's definitely going to put some separations. Everybody had to check up there on that top lane. So back to single wide and see if they can get it wrapped up again. But Ethan experienced a little bit of some issue out there at lap 3, and that's really a surprise move right there. But Robin Pardon and Christopher Rawling are now pretty much going to be sitting ducks unless they can get back down and tuck back down Stephen Green, who is now moving up through the field, but do not want to lose that draft. That's for sure. Dustin?
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I saw Ethan get a little bit loose there. He might have slapped the wall a little bit. I don't think there's too much damage. He should be okay. We still got the same pack like usual. Up at the front, you got Devin Zimmerman, Brian Boyd, and Christopher Strawn setting top 3.
Yeah, checking in with the YouTube, Old Perky, I think is the name. They picked the infield care center as the winner tonight.
Well, hopefully we don't need that tonight.
I think what he's trying to say is hopefully there's no first responders out there, so nobody would have to, quit racing to go into that.
They might have to they might have to get out of their car for a little bit. As long as they don't touch their car, they're okay.
There you go.
They can work on the bodies, but not the equipment.
Never say the typical Daytona race here. That top line is not coming in just yet. There's only 3 of them, but you have more momentum and you have more energy on that bottom line. If they would just stay tucked in, they'd be able to pull away from that top line. But you see a couple of guys they're sitting in the 3rd and 4th spot, just trying to check out. Christopher Strawn, Brad Youngman, looking just to that outside, and they're just taking that energy away from the top 2 there with Devin Zimmerman and Brian Boyd. But Brian Boyd is living up to the promise, guys, as he's now sits in 2nd, looking really good in that Mission 22 machine. They go around for lap number 5. Tommy,
I'm here.
anything you're seeing out there that, maybe I'm not? I can't really tell, but it looks like the top line is just hanging in there, but they're not getting down, and they're not utilizing that side draft. They're definitely creating more space on that outside. So as we see, Ethan Thompson going to try it again now. He's going to jump to that outside line, get in line with Ryan Walter, but
He's getting loose coming out of that corner, and I don't know if it's because the car is sucked up so close to him, or I don't know what's going on there. Andy, you seem to be the expert here at Daytona. What's your see on that?
Andy has left the building.
Oh, I have not left the building. I just stepped away for just a second.
Happens to the best of
we
us.
got 2 up on the top line. Now a 3rd. You get a 3rd up there, it might be okay. They could be racy. 2 is not going to work. But I also see way too much space between the top line and the inside line. You've got to get down, suck that side draft down, which will slow them up. And you see somebody coming up the top to take that top line and see if they can go. Woo!
Brian
Boyd.
Boyd.
Brian Boyd, and then he just gets to the front and sucks back right back down to that bottom line. Now that's how you pass at Daytona.
Yes, it is.
But that also brought that top line with him, and now he lost it to Ethan Thompson, as Ethan Thompson now takes that 3 line on the top there. But like everybody's alluding to, you have to get down and you have to take that side draft away from that bottom line, or you're going to just sit there and be riding like this for a little bit, as we saw. Brian Boyd, if you notice, when he made that pass, he went up, he didn't go high, just took that outside line, got the momentum from the top line, but also dove down enough just to take that side draft off of Devin Zimmerman, and then shot him around to the front, utilizing that energy. So Brian Boyd definitely does have something going on tonight.
The biggest thing with the side draft that people don't understand is it doesn't make you faster to side draft. It slows down the car that you're side drafting. So it takes their momentum and breaks their air up so they can't go as fast. So you got to get down, slow them down while you have the momentum of somebody pushing you behind you to pass somebody.
Yeah, it's a choreographed dance, if you will. It takes 3 to play. You have to have the guy you want to pass. You have to be pulling his air off the rear, but you also need your friend behind you pushing at the same time to make that
somebody's
equation
down on the
work.
looks like we have a wreck, crash as we got
Ethan
there's
Thompson and Ryan Walter.
and Walter. They get together, so lap 8. Oh,
There's the first one.
Yep, and it looks like Ethan Thompson's tire came off as he came across that pad down there. For the inside care, right?
Wow.
There, see, that tire went off. So that's definitely some damage. I'm not sure if he'll be able to nurse it back to pit road or just going to have to tow, but that's a shame as we see one of our top drivers now, last year's champion, out of it early at lap number 9. But he should be able to get back into it or something else should happen. But man, coming down that back stretch.
Hopefully he can whip it down into the pits there.
Robin
Pardon got a little bit of that as well, and I don't know who the guy on the outside was of him.
Robin, yeah, we can go inside with Robin Pardon. I'm not sure if he actually got him or he slowed down. You got an in-car of Robbins?
Yeah, I can get that.
Because that was... I mean, he made an evasive action, but he didn't seem like he... You know what I mean? Like, jerked to one side or the other. He just kind of made an evasive action as it came sliding across his nose. So right there it happens. They come down. Yeah, he did. He got just a touch.
Well, luckily they do have that miraculous quick repair they can go take advantage
Can
of.
we go back to the incident with Ryan Walter? Is that possible?
You talking about the
That's
last? That's the last crash we were just watching.
That's the boy that they called
Right,
Ross
right.
Chastain, right?
And you see
Yeah.
him kind of running over Ethan Thompson there, and I'm just gonna say there's been a known thing with Ryan where he is now taken over the TDR accident championship from Dakota Bro. He runs into more people than my bad, so
As
Right.
everybody's hitting pit road like we figured they would too.
You know, that might be why Robert Cochran wasn't here tonight.
That could be.
Just trying to
'Cause,
stay
yeah,
away
him
from the
and-
chaos of Ross Chastain up there in the 77.
Yep. But he's running that number 77. Like, normally he's number 49, and last week he was riding in the DuPont car at Dover. So, which you said looked like a watermelon. Tonight he's out there in a nice looking American flag machine. So number 77.
He's made some branding changes since Robert Cochran figured him out.
I'm surprised he hasn't put a number 1 on the front of that.
He was reaching out pre-race to get his number changed to 77. I guess we didn't get the information why. There must be a reason for it. I guess we'll have to maybe ask him after the race, or if we got time, we can always bring him down now if we want, Tommy.
Yeah,
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Let me see if I can get him dialed up. This is a pretty long track, so
Plus, we can ask him about that last incident.
a couple miles we're going to be turning here under
About
yellow.
a minute.
Hey, Ryan,
minute 45 minutes.
Ryan, Tommy up in the booth here. We wanted to know what's the reason behind the number change.
Behind a number change?
Yeah.
That's still something I'm not ready to divulge yet.
All right.
But
Can we then-
behind it.
ask
This is
what the
live
reason-
TV,
what
folks.
Can we then ask what the reason was of you running over the number 9, or is that just defending the My Bad championship in TDR?
No, I didn't know every time I was giving him bump drafts, I was actually making him lose. He didn't tell me until it was too late. And he went into the wall and everything else was history.
All right,
Well,
so
it happens that way.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to put him in the wall.
Okay, so if you could just knock that off, because we got a friendly bet up here in the booth, and I think you as the winner. So if you could just knock that off and just go win the race.
Who'd you pick to win?
he picked you.
Oh, gosh. You picked the wrong person then.
Well, you guys are double file coming into 3 and 4 here. We're going to let you get back with the drivers. Best of luck out there for the remainder.
Yep, good luck.
Thank you.
Take care, Ryan. All right, got him put back where he
And
belongs.
really do think while we're under, it's still won the green
Yep.
here. And we should have a friendly bet of the best finisher from our picks. But Tommy, you do have to pick one person though.
Yeah, you have to pick one.
Yeah, you
person.
can't pick the field.
Give me Brad Youngman.
Brad Youngman.
There you
Okay.
go.
There's the
So
picks
we
are
need
in.
to have a little friendly bet, and I think the result of that bet should be divulged next broadcast.
There you go. Sounds
That's
good.
not a bad idea. Real quick, as we do come to the opportunity to take the green here, I just want to mention what Ryan Walter was talking about, that poor communication. As a driver, on-track communication can help you a lot. Make sure you're doing it out there, guys. We're going green.
Yep, as you see, Devin Zimmerman wasting no time hitting that gas trying to get ahead of that field. He is not liking being in that second position, I can tell you that. He wants to lead this thing all the way, stay out of that trouble, as you can see, just come up and bite you. But so we just found out that was just a racing incident. Ryan was just trying to do some bump drafting there. We all know it's a little bit too early for that, but that's how he races.
You
and that's how
definitely
he's getting it.
can't. You can't bump draft somebody's quarter panel. I mean, that just
That just don't work.
And shout out to Ryan for being a good sport and taking
Yeah.
the ribbing like a man. We
Yeah.
know it wasn't on purpose, but someone called him Ross Chastain once, so now we gotta hype that up.
That's right. Something happened with our buddy Sean Warby. He went 2 laps down, so something might have happened earlier. He maybe got
Well,
cut out of the draft.
He was 3 laps down. He got a wave around or
I don't know if he had
A
some.
lucky dog, I think.
He did not make the start, so I'm guessing something technical happened. So now at least it's good to see him back on the track.
Okay, so it's 2 laps down. If we get a couple more yellows and he can hang with his pack, he can certainly get back up there. If he gets to the front and the yellow comes out, then that would definitely help his chances to get back on the lead lap. That's for sure.
Get one back the hard way, get one back as a gift, and you're good to go.
All right, and we got one PO'd there, Mr. Ethan Thompson, who moved from the back of the pack during that last one where he got wrecked. Took his fast repair and is now working 9th on the field. So he's working his way back up. We know he's quick. He's qualified within the top 5. So Devin Zimmerman definitely leading this field down. And yeah, Brad Youngman there looking in the number 6, kind of like the old red, white, and blue colors. Guess reminiscent of the old number 6 with the Valvoline car, but it's the Air Force. So
Well,
got a lot of Air
Mark Martin,
Force
he
guys.
probably-
We have a lot of Air Force guys. We need some Army. I haven't seen a Marine yet out there. We did see our police officer come out a couple of times, but we haven't seen him in the last few seasons. Sean Warp, good to see him back out there, but we do have a lot of Army out there. A couple of Army,
you know what?
some Air Force.
You know what my thought is? Army. Talking about Army. That's Brad Hunt. He's got a great story, by the way. We'll divulge into his story later on when we can talk to him and when he's comfortable. But you said something about him starting in the back. Do you think that's because Jay? Do you think that's because he's kicking?
Oh, not the chicken song.
We got an exciting race to call. I don't know if we have time
Yeah,
for
right.
chickens.
There are chickens in the trees, and they got them weakening. There are chickens in the trees. Won't you listen to me, please? There are chickens in the trees, and they got them weakening. There are chickens in the trees. Won't you listen to me, please? Now you can delete lap number 14 off this race, please, and go back to whatever you were doing. I'm sorry for hurting everybody's ears.
We're
battling a cold.
We're live. We're live. That never goes away.
I always appreciate Jay being a sport on that.
I do like a good chicken song, and if anybody wants the YouTube link to that video, reach out to me privately.
There you go. So YouTube. Just look up chickens in the trees and you'll find it on YouTube. But oh, look who is back at the front of the field from the back. Ethan Thompson made one heck of a run. He may be calling me up and saying that darn, keyword there every time he's out there if that gets a move like that, because I think I sang his way from the back to the front.
Well, when it
Yeah,
comes
what
to
a run.
superstitions, it's only crazy if it doesn't work.
While
That's
you were
true.
singing that, Brian Boyd made the move he did earlier to get in the lead, and then that line stayed together for Ethan Thompson to get in front of him, not like it was before.
Oh my goodness! I would, if I was Ethan Thompson at this point, I would put that poultry on my car from now on.
Right.
I'll have to send him the over the logo so he can put it on the car. But yeah, that was one heck of a run to come from the back. I mean, to the front.
Maybe we can hook him up with Jeremy at B&B Wraps and get his drones wrapped with a chicken skin.
I'm not saying
You
it
said the word. You just said the word.
There's two. We can't say chicken anymore.
One chicken song for broadcast.
New rule.
That's right. If not, I'd be singing all night. We wouldn't be able to call anything.
Looks like these guys are starting to single file here and just setting in. I mean, I'm looking at Andrew Bisnett. He that first run, him and a couple other guys fell back and just kind of were in a pack by themselves. And I don't know if that was a fuel strategy. We always bring up fuel strategies with Bisnett, but I guess we'll see what happens with him out of here.
Yeah,
Well,
but another thing that I did notice a couple of laps ago, and I know that, a couple other guys noticed it too, is that Youngman blinked out for a little bit. And
Oh,
when
no.
you do that, you actually lose that draft as well. So that kind of
Yeah.
may have hurt Andrew Bisnett as he was laying up, trying to catch that draft, and he blinked out for those couple of seconds. And that does create separation. And now I think they're just riding it out. 18 of 85. So they still got a long way to go. They did take their pit stop early on lap 10, so they're only 8 laps into this run. That's going to push it out. Just one more stop for the rest of the race. If they do decide to go as long as they can here, it'll probably be fuel only, no tires.
And I wonder too, at this race, how much the importance of points weigh on the decision making to the drivers out there on the track. they're really good drivers. They expect to get a W's between them. We have a lot of the guys that often run mid-pack, like Biznet and others. Are they being more cautious because they have more to lose if they wreck, whereas the guys that typically run up front don't have as much to lose in their projections?
No, it's Daytona. You're going to get, and there's no points right now that I don't think not one person is thinking about points on that track at the present moment. They're thinking about where can I put this car, who's doing what. Right now, it looks like they're all just content riding in that line. They did get sorted out after that first caution. But man, what a run from Ethan Thompson! That's got to be definitely the hard charger. He passed the most amount of cars that go from the back to the front in so
Yeah,
many laps. So
the
I
whole
think
field
he's
twice, right?
yeah. So I think he's got definitely the hard charger there tonight. So
Yeah, man. And heck of a performance to be that dominant at a super speedway too. A place where it's hard to jockey for position. You're kind of at the whim of your friends and enemies to the left and right of you to fight your way through a super speedway pack and get up there. My hat's off to Ethan. That's impressive.
and that sends a message to the rest of the field, like, go ahead, try and
Right.
take me out. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be at the front. So he owes another 25 cents to the fib jar. So if you're out there listening, Ethan, that's 50 cents you're now up to in the fib jar, okay? Because you said you were a bad pick, but we just saw how you ran from the back to the front. And if you get to the back to the front again, you just say the word on chat and have somebody else do it, and I'll call you to the front again. And we'll see if it actually works. And then you owe me half of the board that you get at the end of the season, plus half the winnings for calling you to the front.
I tell you, that is the cheapest way to win a race I've ever heard of.
Hear that? My singing was so bad, everybody else covered their ears, and Ethan was the only one that could handle it.
Well, you saw the
Worked his
YouTube
way to the
video.
front. Nah, but as we got two on the top line there, they're starting to, possibly get a little bit impatient. It's Robin Pardon. Is that Christopher Rawlings as well?
Yep.
Yeah, Christopher Rawlings and Robin Pardon are now trying to get that outside working. This happened before when they actually were making gains. You saw more and more people jump on, or more and more guys jump up on that top lane, but it looks like they're not able to stay together enough
got
to get that working.
Deja vu. I think those names have been in that order before.
As you see him fall back line now down to the bottom. If you're going to do that, you really do have to have momentum on your side. You also have to have the ability to stay on that guy's back bumper and not get around, because the more you move around, the more air it's going to take off the back of that spoiler in front of you, and that's going to definitely slow you down. Kind of just about the same effect as a side draft, because you're taking that air off that back quarter panel and it's slowing you guys down.
A track like this, spatial awareness is so much more important. We go to places like Dover or even Bristol where it's really about hitting your marks, making sure you're running the track well while staying out of trouble. At a super speedway, the marks you're supposed to hit are dynamic. All of a sudden, you have to drag a brake a little bit or let off the gas to try to stay where you need to be to stay behind that car, who is your mark that changes constantly.
Yeah, and that's it. You have to have friends definitely that are going to help you out there. And this is what we've been working on as we were going through the field here. Ethan Thompson up front. He's led a few of these laps. Brian Boyd now sitting there in second. And third is Devin Zimmerman. Fourth, Brad Yackman. Fifth, Andrew Bisnet. Sixth is Christopher Strawn. Seventh, Ryan Walter. Eighth is Bradley Hunt. He is having a good run. He started in the back, is now up to eighth, so he's having a good top 10 run. Larry Patrick is ninth. Christopher Rowling in 10th. Robin Pardon 11th. We saw those two try and hook it up. And then off the pace a little bit is that's Stephen Green and Brian Wright. And Sean Werb looks like he's in that pack as well in that number 7 Army car. So these three can hopefully get something going. If they do start to go two, they're far enough back where if they do start to go 2-3 wide, it's going to pull these three right to the front. What do you think, Dustin? Do you think they're going to just stay this way through the next pit stop? Probably, I would thinking around lap 55 at the present moment. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. And, being out front, you're actually wasting more gas. Like, as with Ethan right now, he's wasting a little bit more gas than what everybody else is. So, the question is, does he have friends to come and pit with him? Certain people can make it to a window or not. I guess it's gonna be interesting here what happens coming up.
Yeah, so I saw Robin Parton in that last shot. He fell off of that pace, and he's going to be collecting those guys. So he's kind of in the middle right now. He's kind of at the mercy of. He lost that lead draft, but he does have help coming up with Stephen Green and them. So maybe he can get hooked up with them, and those guys can get back up to the front here in a few laps. For sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these guys can get together, or, you know, is Robin just falling back because he doesn't feel comfortable being up front right now. It's interesting to see. I mean, Daytona is a track, any of these super speedway tracks, you're never out of the race ever. You know, he might be losing some gas and just, you know, pit with 4 guys and go a little bit longer and have some fun.
Right?
So these guys are getting a little bit spread out. I know Dustin, I'm pretty sure we sent you a graphic earlier for an upcoming event. We do have 2 special guests.
Sure
We'd
do.
like to bring in the booth right now while we're getting a little bit spread out on this race. If now is a good time, Jay, you let us know.
Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and bring them up. As things seem to be slowed down through the next pit stop, so we're good to go.
Yeah, we'll see if I can get them queued in. Even though they're not on the track, we did get them some honorary helmets with cans inside. Skyler and Doug, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got to read on us, buddy.
Yeah, I
And
got you.
Dustin, you have that graphic, please.
Yes, the graphic is up.
Nice, nice. Well, Doug, I'll throw it to you first, since I'm going to be joining you in the booth on Wednesday for this charity event. We're all looking forward to it. How can everyone tune in to watch everyone run this special event?
You can tune into How to Suck at iRacing on Facebook, Twitch, and the YouTube thing. Yeah, that thing. You can tell I remember things. No, the usual how to suck at iRacing.
If I may quickly interrupt, Dustin, I do not see the graphic.
It's
I
up
do.
there. It's up there.
It's up, buddy.
It's on the YouTube. It's not on your screen.
I'm on the YouTube and don't see it.
You're not on the right race then, buddy.
It's up there.
He's watching last night's race.
It wasn't last year's Daytona. Are they driving trucks, Andy?
They're driving cars on Daytona.
Are they? Like cutting through the infield. That's a road course.
But along with Doug from How to Suck at iRacing, we also have Skylar Massey in the booth with us. He is the one that has organized this charity event and probably knows a little more details than us lowly broadcasters up here know. So, Skylar, do you want to tell us a little bit about the event going on Wednesday?
Yeah, so Wednesday's race, it's the second annual Kathy Linder Memorial. Who Kathy Linder is that's my mother. We unfortunately lost her 2 years ago after a 3-year battle with brain, breast, and a little bit of bone cancer. So last year I had an idea of let's just do a little charity race, in memory of Mom, and had a small car count, a couple sponsors, nothing real serious. And we were able to raise a little over $3,000 last year. So,
Oh, that's great.
Well, if anyone out there looking at that flyer now, you can see they picked up a few more sponsors this year.
A little bit.
Yes, I started talking with Doug about this year's race back in January, and started putting feelers out to sponsors and drivers, and it definitely blew up on us. I think we're at 21 sponsors, technically 23 because there's the back barbecue, talk back, and then the back charities. But yeah, like 23 sponsors. We're right at just over $2,800 raised so far, which is like $700 or $800 more going into the race than we had last year.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's great.
59 to 60 drivers. I mean, it's going to be a really good race for a really good cause, and I know myself and Doug and the rest of us just can't wait to get to it.
Yeah, I know Maconi Setup Shop, again, MaconiSetupShop.com, their Setups Your Victories, has put a lot of TDR drivers up in that field. So a lot of our guys that you watch every night out there, YouTubers, they're going to be in this event. Tune in on Wednesday with Doug and How to Suck at iRacing. Going to be a good time. You guys got anything else you want to say about the event?
Just man, it's a lot of fun. Looking forward to having you guys, and looking forward to TDR being on there. And I know you got some of your top drivers out there, including Tyler Daniels himself Wednesday night. So really, I haven't got to see
the legend.
I have not got to see him race in probably 2 or 3 months now. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back out on track. I have to say, you got to hand it to Tyler. He was the first one to ask for track conditions. I was like, oh man, he outsmarted everybody.
Yeah, Jeff Maconi's taught him well.
Yes, he has.
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
I for one am excited about this race and excited about TDR's involvement, back charities involvement, back talks involvement, back barbecues involvement. I know Doug had some struggles and some just toxic people talking about this race, and so we got involved and we got behind this, and we really pushed this after that. And Doug, I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
That was such a weird thing, and to this day, nobody's ever heard from. But it was just a couple of guys just drop in, and I mean, we're just blowing up the advertising, and we're trying to help promote this thing and raise money for a great cause, and guys are coming in just doing everything they can to destroy it. They're talking negatively to everybody, making positive comments, and it was just awful. And we said, everybody kept saying, just block them, just block them. I said, no. I went out to all these groups, and I'm like, all the groups that were involved at that point, and I was like, guys, come on, let's blow this up with some positivity. And then all of a sudden, here comes TDR, and then it just boom, we went. I mean, I got that message from you, Andy. I was like, oh, it's about to go off now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you guys, but we got a lot of action going out on track. That outside line started running with Larry Patrick on the outside. Brian Boyd jumped up. It's 2x2 back for the first 8 positions. So we have a bunch of guys going back and forth at it. Doug, I think you're going to be calling that race, are you not? You want to? Can you see what's going on? You want to call a couple races? Nobody's or what to expect coming up on Wednesday as Brian Boyd takes the lead now, guys.
I'm having to look at it on delay right now because I was smart enough to turn my computer off momentarily before I hopped in here. But yes, they are 2x2, and it looks like that outside line has gotten hooked up and starting to really push. And man, when they come off onto those straightaways down the back straightaway at Daytona, if you get that outside line hooked up, you're going into turn 3, and the guy up front will drop to the bottom and take that top position. You really have to have that outside line hooked up here.
Absolutely. That's what you guys can expect coming up in the booth. So
this is why you got to tune in Wednesday on tape delay.
Right.
He's still just play-by-play calling.
It'll be a little different as we're gonna be at Knoxville in the 360 sprints. We're gonna be slinging some mud.
Christopher Rolling now takes the lead, guys. Christopher Rolling gets that outside line. Ryan Walter is right there, so there's a lot of swapping for position going on. Rolling to the front now. Larry Patrick to second. Ryan Walter on the high side. Brian Boyd, guys we have not seen all night, take it away from Ethan Thompson, and they're pushing it hard, guys, going down in the turn. Coming off of that straightaway take lap with 35 to go, or 35 right now, so we're not even halfway, but man, it's heating up as that backside is now starting to fall back. So back to the action there and promoting the event on Wednesday, guys.
I guess I want to ask Skylar I really want to just ask, what does this mean to you to be able to do this in your mother's honor?
Man, it means more to me than I can put to words. I mean, Doug can attest last year after seeing the result. I mean, I was speechless, and it's going to be 10 times more this year. It means so much to me and my family, to be able to turn what was our darkest days.
We got an accident on gets run around on the pit road. That's going to bring our 36. So Brian Boyd gets involved.
That's what we get for trying to have a tender moment at Daytona.
Larry,
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Skylar,
we're gonna get Skylar. Hold tight.
Yeah.
Hold tight, Skylar.
You guys can just hang out in the booth for a while. This is Daytona.
Yep.
Now we got enough time to talk.
And just gets into Brian Boyd, who does manage to save it. Oh, Ethan Thompson got by unscathed. That's going to put the field back together. So, Brian Boyd doesn't get any damage. Larry Patrick just spun through, just tapped him, so he might have a little bit of quarter panel damage as these guys get wrapped up. We got 2 laps in about 5 minutes to talk about the to promote.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to Skylar here and let him finish what he was talking about as far as, being for his, in memory of his mother. But I also want him to, if you could, let everybody know now that we have a little bit of a slow point. One, how can they donate? I know we have a full field, right? So how can anybody out there listening right now donate to the cause? And I guess the second part is, where are the donations going, so you can let everybody know that?
Gotcha. But so yeah, back to how much this race means to me. I mean, it means a lot to me and my family. You know, to be able to turn what was our, you know, potentially the darkest point in most of our lives, and to be able to, you know, 1 and 2 years later turn it into something so great and being able to raise money in her memory. But yeah, so uh, I think we've got like one registration spot left. We had one guy drop out this morning. But if anybody out there is interested in
Everybody act now.
donating, anybody's interested in donating, if you go to How to Suck at iRacing on Facebook, Doug has a laundry list of posts that have there's two different PayPal links. There's originally I started doing the fundraiser just through my personal PayPal, and then I made a PayPal fundraiser just in case, you know, some people are leery of sending money to just some guy not really knowing where it goes, people that don't know me. But where all the money's going to go is after all of the payouts. Like if guys, because there's 7 or 8 spots that pay out. If they want their payout, that will come out of it. The big sponsor, Central Sign and Lighting, donating race tickets. That money will come out of. It should all come out of his donation. No big deal. And then there's going to be a little bit of shipping, like the button box and the trophies. But after that, 100% of the money that's left over goes directly to the American Cancer Society.
Good.
And I post screenshots with the donation being submitted. Had some doubters last year on some of that, which that's a whole different story. But
We know all about that.
yeah.
I was gonna say, and
Doug knows that. I mean, everything that I can prove that comes out that doesn't have my personal banking information, I post screenshots of, and it goes directly to the American Cancer Society.
but if you want Skylar's personal banking information, get with me. A big enough donation, I might give it to you. I'm not saying I have it.
That can be arranged.
Well, it's a
You guys
great
want-
cause, guys.
You guys want to hang out in the booth for a while?
Tyler, Skylar, that's great. You know, and again, you know, we obviously understand the shipping stuff, but everybody has been affected,
Especially to Canada. Don't let a Canadian win.
yeah, by cancer in some way, shape, or form. Everybody's been affected. This is our way to memorialize the people we know that have been affected. So if you can, go to Suck at iRacing on Facebook, find those links, and make your donations. If it's $5, $10, whatever, let's make some donations. Let's make them feel proud of TDR and this Vets broadcast and everything else. So everybody out there listening, if you can take some time and do that, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah,
There
I've
is
got a-
one other challenge on the table, and I am hesitant to bring this up.
Bring it up.
But if we hit $5,000 before the green flag drops, then this coming weekend, we will live stream my girlfriend shaving my chest.
And so that's not the weirdest challenge that's came with a Kathy Linder memorial race. We had a guy last year that lost a bet and was in a band and he wore an American flag Speedo for an entire gig.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Because we hit a fundraising goal in time. So
Let's hit
Doug
that
shaving his
mark.
chest is up there, but not quite the weirdest thing that we've done to raise money for the American Cancer Society.
Although I did say, and I'm really hoping we don't hit the $10,000 goal, because if they do, I have to do pre-race on webcam wearing an OU shirt, and that would just
Gross.
And when
And
you
if-
said
Right.
OU, I thought you meant Ohio State. So now that it's not Ohio State, doesn't mean as much to me.
Boomer sooner.
oh
We're back
god.
green.
Yep, we're back to green as Devin Zimmerman takes out, and he's got right on his back bumper Andrew Bisnet, followed by Stephen Green on the bottom side, and on the top side we've got the number 6 car.
Dustin, if you want to drop
Youngman.
the advertisement at this point, you can.
It's already off.
It's already dropped.
As
Yeah,
Youngman
so
falls in line to third.
I think you're
Yeah.
delayed. I think you're delayed.
Oh my god!
Wait, you're not live.
Yeah, you need to hit the refresh button. Nick.
Well, fellas, I greatly appreciate you having me come on to talk about what we're doing Wednesday, but I got to bow out of here.
I'm
That's
looking.
our-
I
that's
will
our
be
goal
there
is to get one.
racing. I will be there racing that night, and I can't wait to partake in this event. Thanks for
I
putting it
can't
on.
wait to see you guys. It'll be great to have you back, Tommy. And I'm going to bounce, but thank you guys so much for making a big deal out of this and being such a big part of it.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Have a good night,
Absolutely.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good night.
Get them sorted and outside of the helmets there.
As we got a good race going on, as like I said, Evan Zimmerman takes off. Andrew Bisnet right on his back bumper. Brad Youngman's brought it back down into fourth or third position there, and Christopher Rawlings. You know, gentlemen, Christopher Rawlings, we said it was anybody's night, but Rawlings is certainly showing that he's got some speed and knows how to get it done. He's been up there quite a bit tonight. He did fall back a little bit when he got with Robin Pardon, but he's back up there. It's not the first time we called him near the front. And here comes our buddy Brian Boyd down to the bottom there. He's going to force Ryan Walter to the high side. Rawlings goes with Ryan on the high side as we're working lap 41 of 85. Coming up on about halfway here in about 4 laps.
Yep, Sean Warb now a few laps into it after we talked about him earlier, missing the start of the race. Still only 2 laps down, so a couple more flags in his favor, and he could still be back in contention. He hasn't dropped off at all.
No, he hasn't dropped off, but he has not been the recipient of that lucky dog. For some reason, every time that yellow has fallen, he has not been able to capitalize on it, and that's a shame because he should be back on the lead lap. We've already had 2 cautions on the evening. But these guys are really racing hard, as we saw earlier in that. Larry Patrick just got that inside line, went up, came back down, and just got into Boyd. But it's good to see that these guys are out there racing. Boyd really saved it, so that was one heck of a save there. Ethan Thompson, saw him come from the back to the front. He looks like he's just biding his time now, but man, these guys had a lot of big run there earlier
I
to
think
take that away from him.
If Ethan can clear Rawlings up there leading that top line, I would expect to see Ethan jump up and maybe get that outside line really going.
Yeah, but you see who's on the outside line right now. That was the one person that, tried to bump draft him, so maybe he can return the favor now by jumping on the outside and letting Ross Chastain know exactly, this is what it feels like when you actually bump people going in and turning down the back straightaway. As he's moving maybe pay attention there. But no, there you go. He may have a spotter on top of a spotter saying, "Hey, the guy's talking to you in the booth. Better get up there." But no, he's right there working with Ryan Walter. Bradley Hunt has moved up into the top 10. He has been slowly moving from the back to the front. Started back on the field, but he has really worked his way through the field and looking really good tonight. All things considered. So yeah, he is in race reporter there.
Oh no!
Oh, we got a 2-spin again. Brian Boyd just gets down. Ryan Walter and Ethan Thompson. I hate to say it, guys, but I think Ethan returned the favor. We may have a new rivalry as I see 2 cars that are, I don't know. Well,
looks like he just got loose.
Ryan just got loose. Just came down.
I think Ethan made Chastain there a little nervous.
Yeah, that car just
got
away.
He said, "You know what? I'm hitting you. It doesn't matter. Smoking you."
I don't think Ryan did that on purpose. It looked like he got loose, and I think it had a lot to do with that number 9 behind him.
Can we see that one more time? Ryan Walter, my pick, has decided to drill guys.
No, he got loose.
This is why we call him Ross Chastain. He hits everything except for the kitchen sink. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's going to be another yellow, another chance to top off the fuel tanks and then kind of go for broke here halfway through the race. And at this point, there may be some cars involved that do not have that fast repair left.
Yeah, I don't know. We know Ryan Walter should not. He was involved in the incident. Brian Boyd was involved in an earlier incident. Who was just involved in that one. Sean Warb, who has just had bad luck. He was just involved in that. Looking for the caution. Didn't expect to be in it, but ended up had nowhere to go and got to the side of Brian Boyd there. I'm sure there'll be optionals. I'm not sure if there'll be any,
and
required
we are
repairs.
Just halfway through the race.
This is why we love Daytona.
Yeah, we've had more cautions tonight than we did all of season 5.
The guy that started dead last is in 5th, and I thought he was
Poultry, that's right. Everybody's coming down pit road now.
It'll be interesting to see if Brian Boyd used that fast repair the last time or if he still has that in his pocket. That's why I'm following him down pit road.
Well, and halfway through the race here, I think they would still need one more pit stop for fuel if they run full tempo.
Yeah, 41 to go.
Oh,
if you hadn't
absolutely. They will
back-
have to get. Yeah, there's no. Well, when are we going green?
Except Biznet. Biznet's probably one
About
lap.
38 to go,
You-
they'll go green.
And if you can go half to
Man, that is
three-quarter, and
gonna be
still stay within that, you
so
can pull that
close.
out. That's going to be as close as you're going to get.
We're about to see the fight for second place to save fuel.
And then again, if we get another caution, then that's just going to throw that strategy out the windows. So what are you
I
going to
can
do?
tell you. I can tell you with that strategy, I do not want to lead the pack.
No.
No. That's why I was just saying that the fight for second place is on.
Yeah, who's going to be in that second spot?
That's where you want to be until the end of it.
Yeah, gonna definitely want to get that rag out or something just to hold that so your foot does not hit the floor. Make sure make sure you have that little bit of cushion so you cannot put it to the floor. Go about 3/4 throttle all the way around and stay with that guy behind you, which I mean can be done, but at the same time, if you get that run, something happens. The way things are looking, nope, looks like Brian Boyd is going to have to take some required and possibly maybe just optionals at this point. I'm sure there's only a few, but
Thinking he'll be coming. He's
changing-
coming out pit road now,
he's
but his
going
car
out,
is
yes, he's
still
taking
damaged.
optional. Yep, he's just
Hey,
taking
Tommy.
optionals at this point.
Yes.
Tommy, do you think we should offer out a prize
Of course, I love giving
Any-
stuff away.
to anybody who donates to the cancer race during this broadcast?
We could. What do you have?
I'm looking at koozies and
I was just gonna ask if you had
t-shirts.
any more of those last place prizes left.
Yeah, I got some koozies. Yeah. So Back Talk, we don't like to talk about it here much, but Back Talk podcast is offering koozies to the last place people in heat races or in the cancer race. So how about anybody who donates during the cancer race, hit us up on the chat, let us know, and we'll get you a koozie. And I do owe Sharon a t-shirt still. Just remember, 3 to 6 weeks on shipping, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get it.
Sharon's not in Canada, is she? Because that's an extra $100.
Oh
No,
my
it's
goodness.
not in Canada, no.
If my schedule wasn't stupid, she'd have it already. And I apologize, Sharon, but it is coming. You are getting Vet's t-shirt. But anybody who wants a koozie, would like a koozie, Back Charities koozie, TDR koozie, make a donation right now and let us know in the chat that you made a donation to the cancer race.
Yeah, I made a joke earlier to Skylar about a Canadian winning the race because of the shipping cost. When Andy and I first opened up the TDR store, our first order was a big one to Canada. I think we paid more in shipping
Yeah.
than the merchandise was worth.
We definitely lost
We're
money.
going back green.
Yep.
That was quick.
Well, I did notice that Devin Zimmerman was leading, came back down and topped off his fuel tank. He's
So
a
did
little bit.
Christopher Strawn.
They're a little bit behind the field, but there might be some strategy going on there. It's something to watch for if this thing goes green the rest of the way through.
Well,
You
it
know,
takes
and
a
he
whole-
waited a
whole
long time
lap to get up to
after he
speed here.
got that. Yeah, he did wait a long time for that before he took off pit road. So I'm wondering if maybe he turned his car off, got all the fuel that he can, is going to try and take this out and go the rest of the distance on the fuel that he has.
He might have
39
mistimed
to
it though. He's way back there without a draft, so it's gonna be hard for him. He might have mistimed it a little bit if that's what he was trying to do.
This
Yeah,
is where
he
you
might
need a
have just-
friend where you can say, "Hey, man, drag the brake a little bit. Let me catch you."
Well, Christopher Strawn did go in with him, but they just didn't quite time that just right. Maybe I'm not sure what that was about, but the way it's been going, I'm sure we will have another caution by the end of this, if not two.
As Biznett is out in the lead.
Yes, Biznett now leads them down. Brad Hunt, like I said, two guys and Brad Hunt, what a race he's had, kind of bringing it from the back. Now he's knocking on going and leading the front. So I'm not sure where the hard charger would be, considering Ethan actually got wrecked and worked his way to the front within a few laps, but Brad Hunt started in the back and is now working his way to the front, so they pretty much passed the same amount of cars. May have to split that one tonight. Oh, he's going to try and tap Ooh, I don't know if that's a good idea, Brad, if you're going to try and get Biznet.
Well, and
Oh,
looking
man.
at fuel strategy too, Biznet's someone we often talk to who's really good at saving fuel, runs unusual strategies, and he's actually in the worst position right now for saving fuel. Everyone behind him might be good to go.
As our very own Tyler Daniels comes in the chat saying, Andy said,
Yeah,
come on, man, like ESPN NFL Live.
come on, man.
Come on, man.
And Tyler and Ethan did chime in and said, I didn't do anything. Yes, Ethan, you have been vindicated. We did watch the replay. You did not do anything to get Mr. Walter around. So, yep, you're good there. Tyler,
Look at
good
that
to see you out
chat.
there, bud.
You have a famous person in the chat. Chat it up out there, guys.
The real Tyler Daniels, the man, the myth, the legend, not Tyler Daniels 5, but the real one.
The real Tyler, that's right.
Nice to see you out there, Tyler. Well, thanks for tuning in, bud. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, man, looking forward to watching you on Wednesday night.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are looking forward to watching you out there on Wednesday
know,
night. So
we
you're
did a-
good to go.
We did a
Don't
practice
forget
race.
that Wednesday night race, is the cancer race. Go on How to Suck at iRacing on Facebook. Find the links to donate. Donate now, and you can get a free back charities to your koozie.
We did a practice race for the event on Wednesday night, the charity race Wednesday night, and Tyler made a great pass around me, and I can't remember who, I think it was Tom Rule, on the last turn, last lap.
Yep.
He stuck that car to the bottom, and I hope to see that a lot more in that race Wednesday night,
Yeah,
Tyler.
I tuned in to check in on you guys as you were talking about that pass.
It was beautiful. I think it was Brian Boyd has it on his stream.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
It was a beautiful pass, Tyler. That was an awesome move that you did, bud.
Things are heating up on track again as Brian
Yes, they
Boyd
are.
is now working that high side again. Ethan Thompson is there. He's been there all night. It fell to the back.
Yeah,
They're
but-
trying to take him out, but he is not letting them go. Ryan Walter is also back up there after getting involved in that last incident. That's kind of where we left off before the last incident there, except Brian Boyd was underneath of Ryan Walter when he got down into him. Now Brian said, I'm just going to stay out front of you. That way you don't have to worry about it. But we have to watch out for that that famous move that we saw earlier in the race, which turned Ethan around. So I don't know if Brian can totally relax at the present moment, but Biznet has a little bit of a lead. That's going to give the outside line more of the momentum now. And as you can see, Brian just pulled up door handle, going down into turn number 1. Brian Boyd's going to go to the point and take that outside lane with him. Ryan Walter goes up. I'm not sure if he touched that wall or not. If not, that was pretty close.
I think it's just
Cleared the
sparks.
marbles off of there.
Thick as a frog here.
And they are just racing side by side down the back stretch, door handle, what we typically see at the start of the race. But man, they're coming back. Bradley Hunt's going to try and go down under the bottom, but I'm not sure if he's been trying to work on getting that together. But
Biznet's blinking out a little bit now.
Oh, no,
That's not
Biznet's
good.
blinking out yeah, that's not good, especially in the leading of the race, because now that's going to put
Yeah.
an awkward position. If he blinks back and comes back right inside Bradley Hunt's car, that's going to definitely cause another caution here. Oh, Brian Boyd cuts the nose off. Man, that was that was one. I don't think you could have slit a piece of paper.
That was half a frog.
I know, I was holding my breath there. I don't know about you guys.
For sure we would have had that. But man, did he cut across that front bumper. And take that bottom line, but I'm not sure because maybe he just didn't feel comfortable with Ryan Walter pushing him on the outside line. But as Ryan Walter now takes it to the front, Ethan Thompson now second. Sean Warb, there you go, and then number 7
pushing Ethan Thompson on the outside line. Look at that.
and he is looking really good right now. As you got Bradley Youngman out there as well. So guys, this is living up to the billing. We don't know who it is. Any lap, we've seen a lot of strong cars out there tonight. Our picks have all been up in the front, so we're really getting it on tonight.
We were just talking before we went back with the fuel mileage. These guys are fighting to get to the front. I don't think they got our memo.
Nope.
and we saw Brad Hunt sitting up there in P2, and now he's dropped all the way back. I still think he's poultry.
As these guys are starting to settle in.
But No, I mean it's a good race. It's lived up to its billing, that's for sure. It's very entertaining. It's not like these guys. They did go around a little bit single file, but when they started to close the field,
Tyler,
get the thing together.
Tyler chimes back in. Instead of a diamond cutter, DDP, it's called the nose cutter.
Yeah, that's right. So,
That's what Brian Boyd just did, was the nose cutter.
Quick shout out to Diamond Dallas page there.
You know, the nose cutter is Tyler's favorite move.
It
if
is.
you're ever racing against someone. Just saying, he has cut my nose off more times, and I've let off to not kill him. Like, the next time he did it, I'm gonna knock him through the wall.
well, they don't call it following; they do call it racing. So there you go. You gotta take what you can get. And Daytona has been proven where, especially the super speedways in this next gen car, you have to be aggressive. I think in the next gen car in general, you have to be aggressive, and I think that's what a lot of these older guys that kind of weren't as aggressive, as we were alluding to during the last couple of broadcasts, and everything's been out there tweeting about Ross Chastain getting overly aggressive. But I don't know if anybody watched Sonoma, but I did see a lot more than just Ross Chastain getting in the back of people and in the side of people.
Yeah.
I believe Denny Hamlin overshot his brakes. So, nobody's figuring out this car. Nobody's got it going on. And you have to be aggressive to be a winner in this series, as we've seen Brian Boyd do in this series, as we've seen, Ryan Walter do. So you have to be aggressive, and that's just a product of racing. It's, unless you just want to run out there, run some laps, hey, how you doing? Sign a couple autographs and collect a check. If you want those W's, you have to be aggressive. You have to put that car in positions that you and your competitors are not, comfortable with at times. But sometimes it pays out, and sometimes it doesn't, as we've seen in all these forms of racing with the next gen cars. So as they get it figured out, things will start to strewn out.
And you know what you can do? You can just blame your crew chief, and that's what Tyler just did.
That's right. He said my crew chief wasn't accurate.
That sounds
Well,
like
if
a
it's
Kyle
crew,
Busch move.
We're getting slicey and dicey again, though.
For him, that explains a lot of the cutting off there, right there, Andy. So he says his crew chief is.
I just want to
the blame.
say, the guy who picked one guy is leading. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's been a flip-flopping. They've been flip-flopping back and forth. Christopher Rowling now to the front. So
With
Ethan Thompson back up. Yeah, Ethan Thompson, and Ethan's sticking to the high side. He has not wavered from the high side. It's gotten them to the front, and everybody has dropped down to the bottom. Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter were out in front of them, and they got to the front, and then Christopher Rawlings was out front and right, and there you go. Ethan Thompson just committed to that high side, and now he's right back up there in second spot. So
as he's
I'm not
working, with Sean Warrup 2 laps down, he's trying to get one of them laps back, maybe the hard way, and maybe get that caution, get back on the lead lap.
Well, obviously, since he can't get it back on the under cautions, as we could tell,
Yeah,
he's going to just going to the front. So,
he's
but
kind of let out to dry now.
Yeah,
Now, if I were
unfortunate.
Christopher Rollins, I would have pulled right up in front of Sean Warp, because clearly he can push you to the front.
Yeah, he's pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, but he did also get that big draft off of Ethan Thompson, and there you see that there's a little bit of a separation in between them and Brian Boyd back to Ryan Walters. So,
Here's the big thing I always question on these races. Everybody's going to start to fall in line here and wait. We're 27 to go. The guy in second, the guy in third always tends to wait until like the backstretch on the last lap. You have to start making your move with 2 to go.
Yeah.
And we have to see if that happens.
Well,
yeah, and that's what we've seen in the past. And the last time that those guys were here, they were actually side by side going to the line, and it was one of the most exciting finishes to come out. And Ethan Thompson managed to pull that out. This time around, we're getting actually a lot more experience in these cars and how to work them. But look right back there, about third, fourth, and fifth. Brian Boyd will probably drop back, catch Ryan Walter, and take that train with him to catch those front two, because it's going to be 5 over
what
2.
I'm looking at, you see what I'm looking at? We're looking at coming at 25 to go, and everybody is now in a single line. And everybody's going to sit here. We're waiting. Everybody's looking at the fuel. Can they make it? Some people are saving. But you have to make your move early. There's no way you can make that pass. Oh, and here goes Christopher Rawlings to the inside. But that may be Ethan Thompson needing fuel.
Trying to
saving.
save some fuel,
That's
right?
That
The fight
that
for
was just a
second.
swap.
Yeah.
That was a swap, but that's going to bring that field in, and that's where that's what everybody's alluding to. And man, Biznet is just blinking out there on that backstretch. I'm hoping that he remains in this and can get that straightened out by the end, because that's really going to hurt that outside line with him blinking in and out like that. But if they can get that,
Biznet did earn himself
somebody
a new,
go into pit lane?
nickname.
Bradley Hunt, I think, just got loose and didn't
Okay.
wreck anybody, saved himself. Now he just drops back and he'll catch the end of the field.
Yeah, he may be falling off, because if he doesn't get back up there soon, he's in that danger zone right now.
I think he'll be
Yeah, it
fine.
looks
They're
like
checking
he
up a
caught
little
up
bit.
here.
He's good. Yeah, okay. So Larry Patrick did moved to the back, so got back down. So that was a saving grace. But Brad Hunt was on that verge. If you fall more than a second behind, you lose that. You have a tendency to lose that draft.
Yeah,
But he was able to pull back up.
I'm seeing a lot of these guys getting loose out of 4, and that's usually not a thing at Daytona. It makes me wonder what kind of tracks the state in, what temperature they're dealing with, but you hardly ever see getting loose like these guys. Some of these guys have gotten tonight.
And don't forget, we did have a major update that just happened too. So they updated the next gen cars as well.
Yeah.
And we have not been back there. I think to say it's the first time that the next gen has been back since that update. So that may be an issue with the new model that these guys are facing.
It's Bradley Hunt
Well,
dices his
number
way
6.
back up.
Number 6 getting loose there as well. Right
And-
here on corner exit.
So I do want to mention chat real
Go ahead.
Yeah.
fast. Can.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did put out there what our bet should be in the booth for our booth bet on, and Janelle chimed in. The loser has to sing a song picked by the winner, and that is the only suggestion we got.
So the loser is whose driver finishes the worst, and the winner
Yep.
is whose driver finishes the best, I guess, in this scenario.
That would
no,
say.
I would say there's 3 losers and 1 winner.
Oh. A triet?
A trio.
And,
A trio of
Tyler-
chicken in the tree.
Tyler's really chatting us up too. He's calling this the TDR Express Train and Sidewinder.
There
He
you
loves
go.
seeing this. He says it's better than the worst NASCAR heat game.
Absolutely. And these guys are starting to get wound down a little bit. Now, we're saying that they had to pit one more time. We know Devin Zimmerman came in, took it a little bit further, but he's back 30 seconds now. 23 side. That's a big deficit. So when these guys pit, he's going to have to hope that he catches back up, as he's like almost in danger of going a lap down here.
Yeah, he's just right in front of the
Blinky up there,
leaders.
back in second.
Blinky's in second.
Winky in second. So Winky, Blinky, and Clyde, 3 of the ghosts from
Which is
Pac-Man.
amazing because Andrew Biznet has earned 2 nicknames this week. Blinky being one of them, and I won't name the other one.
As
That's
you see
perfect to the
Brian
admin
Boyd
chat.
running that outside, running down the top guys in the top line.
Yeah, Brian.
All the way from the back.
Yeah, Brian Boyd has said he's been going to have something here, and he has definitely proven that. But yeah, he got
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's also singing in chat.
there. You go.
He says, "Don't you wish your car was hot like me?"
Don't you? Don't you? I was gonna do the backup.
You were doing a good job. There you go.
David May chimes in, just ride to the end, and I agree.
To an
Depending on
extent.
fuel strategy here, yes.
Yeah,
Fuel's
fuel's
a wild card. We think they have to pit, but they know better than we do.
we thought that. What was that? 2 races ago, Jay, or was that the last race where they tricked us and we thought they were gonna have to pit?
Yeah, I mean, they trick us all the time. They just make us guess up here.
They're better
we
at
can
this
get-
than we are.
Just look like
That's
a
what we
fool
get
every
for being
week, so I'm
civilians.
not gonna say anything. Yeah, I'm not
If you
gonna
guys
say
want, if you guys want insider information, we can always go to Blinky and ask him.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
to Blinky and see if we can, because they're riding right now, so he would have to be 3/4 throttle. 18-19 to go. Let's we can either bring up Hot Orb or Blinky and see if we can get him to divulge some information to us.
Just a quick
I'm
little
punching
chat.
in the numbers now. Hey,
Okay.
Biznet, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
He does not want to talk to us.
It's the one
He
time.
does not. He said, yeah, the one, but he's blinking, so maybe he just shut things down.
That could be too. I'm gonna go ahead and get him sorted back. We might have exacerbated the issue.
Right?
Funny how that.
As
internet
you're
works.
we're kind of looking here. I'm looking at Brian Boyd, who's sitting in second, but Christopher Rawlings is leading the race with 2 lap cars. Or no, not 2 lap. Yeah, 2 lap cars.
Yeah, I mean, taking advantage normally in a super
he
speedway race,
needs
you
to
may
let
use them as a
those-
pick, but hey, let them push you around for a while.
No, he needs to let those lap cars lead him so he can save the
Save
gas.
some fuel.
He's racing with Kevin Strom and Sean Warrup, and yeah, like I agree with Andy and what you guys are saying. He needs to let them by and
Which
save
he's
some
doing
fuel
right
and
now.
let them get their lap back.
And here
Just
we
let them
go.
go down
It's
now.
I think he's
happening.
listening to us.
It's
They are.
happening now. It's happening right now. And he's going to get behind them. He's going to run 3/4 fuel behind them.
I think he's slowed down too much. I think those lappers are
Yeah,
running away from
I
him.
think they're gonna run away from him.
You think he's
I
going to
think-
come in?
I think he's about to have the train run on him.
Yeah,
Because he's got a
about
I
five,
think
four
he's
and a half
close
second
enough.
lead.
second lead, yeah.
I do think he's close enough to be able to suck up to them and grab that draft.
don't
They
know,
got
we see
kind of
Devin
dicey
Zimmerman
with
now.
Devin.
Well, Zimmerman's right there as well.
That
So.
I think that helped out a lot. They came up on Devin Zimmerman as well, and they kind of had to slow up a little bit. So I think that helped his cause in getting there. But he needs to get tight behind that number 93 car.
He can't run that high line. He needs to run right behind them. Run that 3/4 fuel.
He's about
and
7.5
save.
seconds ahead of that last pack.
All he has to do is just stay with the back of that pack and just stay with Zimmerman. We should know that Zimmerman should have enough fuel if he calculated about right, because they had about 40 laps to go when they hit the green flag.
Yeah, gonna be 16 laps to go in the race this time by.
Should we try Biznet one more time?
Negative. I don't want to bug him if he's having internet.
He's leading that pack right now. Brian Boyd dropped to the back of that pack. These
So maybe
guys
these guys are
start
just
slicing
playing
and dicing.
strategy.
Yeah, they might just be slicing. You know, they're talking up there in the driver's lounge. We'll see what happens here, but
A gentleman's game of give and take.
I see Christopher Rawling. I mean, he's just pulling away up there with this strategy, getting pulled ahead. I don't know how they got busted apart like
He
they
is.
did, but I
no.
mean, we're looking at the back of that pack, and that other pack's coming out of turn 2
They
right
slowed
now.
down. They had to have slowed down. And let
Rawlings
Rawlings
may
go.
have been. in the
I
right
do
place
need to
at the
go.
right
I
time.
do need to go on the record about Christopher Rawlings and tell you all that his name is not Christopher Rawlings. He is Christmas Rawlings.
Why?
Christmas Rawlings. Okay. The official name is Christmas Rawlings, and he calls himself
He's-
Christopher.
He signed up for leagues using the name Chris.
I remember that.
So is that something he wanted let out?
It's out now.
It's 2022. He can be whatever holiday he wants to be. All right.
That's right.
he definitely identifies as Christmas.
Okay. Well, it's 2022. You can identify as whatever you want. So just ask Tommy. He'll tell you. He's a pet rock that wants to be a real boy one day.
I identify as Larry Mack because I
So
like to eat.
if he hangs on, if he hangs on to this, and we do talk to him, you need to identify him as Christmas. That is his
We got you, buddy. Christmas Rollins all day long.
preferred name.
Somebody
yeah,
is coming out of pit
right-
road. That is
That would
Brian
be
Boyd. is
Brian
coming out
Boyd.
of- Brian Boyd is the one, and he's going to catch up. But that's going to. Ooh, that. Oh, what do
Wouldn't
we
wanna
got?
Pit by myself here.
No.
Not good. You do not pit by
No.
yourself on a super speedway. He found no friends.
Well, and from what I've learned from Brian Boyd, talking to him on pit road, he knows what he's doing. I'm willing to bet he had to pit. I don't see him going without friends for any other
Is he
reason.
not on pit road? What is going on?
He's
No,
off
he
of pit
went
road.
down. He stopped on pit road. I think he got fuel to the end. and when he came back out, there is no help whatsoever. So he's just
No
riding
help.
around.
No help. That's not going to help you. You have
Yeah.
got to have a friend, at least one friend.
One friend.
Well, and he may have skipped fuel under that last yellow, kind of counting on another one since we had a couple early on, which is not likely for this league. But that's super speedway racing, and that bet might have failed him there.
Christopher Raleigh, if he can hold on for 13 laps and just go the distance, man, he's got one heck of a lead. Even if he runs out here, he's still gonna win it.
I tell you,
So
it's
he'd be
not
able to coast
often
it
you see a
down by-
10-second gap at a super speedway between
No,
first
and he
and
caught
second.
Devin Zimmerman, so these guys are a lap down. I'm not sure who's going to be able to make it in this, but they were swapping positions.
Looking at our bet, I believe, Jay, did you take Andrew Bisnet?
Yes, I did.
And Tommy took Brad Yoakum.
Youngman. Yes.
Youngman. Yep. So,
The two of you are battling for fuel supremacy right now.
I trust that Brad.
We said it was the pick
will
to win. They
finish
gotta
the
win.
race.
No.
pick to win.
We said on the bet it was our pick.
The bet, I
that
think the
finishes
bet is the pick.
best.
But the picks were to win the race.
Picks were to win,
Correct.
but whoever's
Bet is
pick came
who
in ahead of
finishes
them.
best.
Right. Much like the race conditions, as we're now 11 laps to go this time by at the line, the bet conditions also are very dynamic.
So I'm looking now that Brian Boyd has pitted. He has got with that second group and he's leading it. He's Andrew Bisnet's best friend.
No
At the present
doubt.
moment. Yes, because he is saving that fuel for Andrew Bisnet. Now, here's an 11 seconds. I mean, they've been pulling out steadily. There's 4 cars have been pulling out with Christopher Rawlings, Devin Zimmerman.
Which has to get me thinking, though, is Christopher Rawlings. Because when we looked at him, he was not really tucked underneath the car in front of him. And if he's not doing a whole lot of fuel saving.
Yeah,
He's
they're
got
not
to
really in
get-
line.
He's
Yeah,
got
they're
to
not
get
really in line.
underneath. And so he's not doing a whole lot of fuel saving. So if he's having to run full throttle, it may not work out.
Yeah, it's odd though. Being the leader in that lap down pack, he's added about 2 seconds to the gap back to second over the course of the last 7 or 8 laps.
So it makes you think, is that second pack, are they trying to save in that aspect too? Was Bisnet going half throttle and these guys were discontent riding behind him?
Hoping that's something if he falls off. But he'd have to fall off within the next 3 or 4 laps in order for them to even have any advantage.
Yeah, but if they don't have to pit, this could get interesting with 10 to go.
Yeah, because we know Brian pit. So, and Brian was in that second group because he was with these guys.
Yeah,
And he ended up pitting.
Let's check out our leader real quick and see how far behind he is the car in front of him.
You see him still peeking out a little bit, not
But
quite staying tight. And
he's coming in pit road now.
Pit road.
He's
How
coming in. So is that going to now open the doors? Bisnet, who
He's
can
got
save
friends.
fuel?
He's got friends
got
coming
friends.
with him too.
They're
Yeah,
lap
right.
friends, but they're friends.
Yeah.
Good timing on that camera call, Andy.
Yeah.
You know
So-
what I'm doing. Come on now.
Mine to go. All right.
So
Well,
now-
now this puts everything in respect because this puts Bisnet now on the pole or on the lead here
Now
with
that's-
this group.
That's 2 guys that we've seen pit with, roughly 10 to go. How close is it for the rest of the guys out in these fields?
I don't know because, like I said, Boyd pitted.
You got some guys making some decisions with quite a few.
The thing
laps
is,
left
though.
to go.
Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
Oh no, that was the end of my thought.
Oh,
The fuel strategy
the-
might not be what we think it is.
Yeah, and that kind of confused me about Brian Boyd's. Maybe he's got a strategy, and I guess we'll see what happens here with 9 to go. With him being by himself, if he gets around and gets with people, he is back on the lead lap. Anything's possible here, boys.
I
Yes,
thought maybe
Daytona.
he might have thought that he might have had help by going down there, and somebody would have gone with him, and they all stayed out. So maybe that just worked out, not in his favor. But yeah, I mean, right now we got Andrew Bisnet, Brad Youngman, Ethan Thompson, 1, 2, 3, with Boyd out front. But we know Boyd has enough gas to get to the end, so I don't think you're going to see too much of a battle here, especially if they're doing fuel saving, because that's going to eat up some fuel on going to the outside and try and battle.
And I'm curious when the time comes for Brad or Ethan, to try to exact that move on the outside. What does Boyd do in that situation?
We got to get out of the way.
Yeah, be the lap car.
At that point, yeah.
I
You're not going to fight it.
I gotta go on a limb and say if Rawlings had a pit at lap 9, I would say that these guys are gonna end up having to come in. They're just staying out as long
I
as
think
they
so
can.
too. I think so too.
Because
They're hoping for a caution, which I don't see coming, because everybody's going to run in a line trying to save fuel.
we went green with what 38 to go, and we usually say about 34, 35 laps. I don't think you could save 3 laps.
It'd be a tall order. We know Biznet can do it, but I didn't see a lot of that tonight. You did run up front a little bit, burned off probably more fuel than he'd care to. And I'm with you guys.
I still don't see the enough tucking underneath the bumper
Right.
to save the fuel.
Yep, a lot of guys use that strategy, kind of peeking the nose out to get some air on it to slow the car down, as opposed to letting off the throttle or dragging the brake. And in a situation where fuel saving is important, it's not time to do that. It's time to save as much fuel as you can. Go ahead, use that brake a little bit.
As
Yeah,
Christopher Rawlings 20 seconds behind the leaders right now, so they're working with that group. Oh, he's by himself, boys. They must not have came off together too well.
Well, he's got
No,
fuel.
so
He's got fuel.
had friends going on, but yeah, there's we're talking about 15, 20 car lengths in between him and
Yeah.
his friend there, Pardon.
I think we got to stay on these leaders and see what happens. With 6 to go, I'm going to guess it's going to be around the lap 3 or 4 to go. These guys might have to duck in and pit.
If they have to.
Well, at this point, they've made their bed. You can't. You have to gamble.
Yeah.
You are coming to 5 to go. You have to gamble. You've made your bed at this point, and you have to hope.
Well, here we go. David Maker reaches out to us in YouTube and just says right to the end, and go Boyd. Don't move. Racing is racing. None of that move over and lay down crap on the track from old Porky there. So, yeah. So, but with Boyd, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Andrew Biznet is going to push the issue unless it's going to be for the win, and he has no choice but to do that. Other than that, actually, Boyd is his best friend right now.
Right. But like
So-
Andy alluded to, they're not like tucked right up next to each other. I don't
No, they're
see
not,
him
and
saving
his-
gas. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, you have to be
4 to go.
right there, almost bump draft, and really for the most savings.
Right.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah,
4
the
to
whole- the
go, I
whole
think
point
we're-
is
Listen,
to be
I'm
lifting.
I'm not a good racer except on these super speedways. I understand what you need to do.
right. No, and we agree. Like they should be tucked up a lot more than he is. And they're just not doing it. But it doesn't even look like he's I'd say he's probably running about half to 3/4 throttle,
Yes.
and the
But
other guys are just doing whatever.
even with that, he starts to get
Back
too
off,
far
yeah.
away. He's going to back off. He's going to lose a little bit of that draft, and he's going to have to push that gas a little harder in order to get back under the draft. So if you stay tucked up and run an average amount of gas or an average amount of throttle, you will stay in that position rather than backing off and having to then come back to gassing the car.
Well, 3 to go as we see Boyd just had a blink there. Maybe it was Biznet we're riding along with.
I was just trying to see what his RPMs were running, and if we could
He's
hear.
running about 78. Seems to be pretty steady on that.
Oh, he blinked
throttle.
out again.
Yeah, blinking out. And blinked out again and again.
As Christopher Rawlings still rides alone, it's
3
interesting.
to go, so it's going to be definitely a fuel strategy run. Wouldn't that be something if he blinks out at the end and loses it?
Oh
That's-
man, what a way to lose.
And Brad Young in there to pick up this. So this is going to get really exciting. 2 laps to go. If there's going to be if they saved anything now on the tank, they're going to have to go for it if they want the win, or just take what they can get right
So-
now on points. But
Well,
it's
you
going to be a
can see
huge win.
Biznet is pushing. Biznet is pushing now. He has gotten closer. He is on the throttle
So
now.
All
he's
kinds of
good on-
sparks
he's
flying
good
out
on
of
the
that
gas.
car too.
Here goes
So,
Ethan to the top.
Yep, they're going to get racy here. Maybe they saved enough. Now it's time to get racing. And like I said, you had to go with more than
But right
You
now,
got
those
Fred, I
guys,
think Youngman
yeah, there
gonna
they go.
jump up ahead of
Two to
him.
go. This is the time to go. Now, Biznet looked like he wanted to block there.
Yeah. Got the wild
Oh,
card
Youngman comes down underneath.
on
Oh, that
Sweens.
Boyd just got a
Pushing
little
Boyd.
bit
He's taking
loose
Boyd.
there. He's got
Taking Boyd.
Oh, they're
Biznet's
going
One
for
to
Biznet
go.
just got hung out.
Right.
Biznet got hung out.
Brad
Lance
Youngman
left
to
to
the
go.
lead.
Oh my God! If Tommy wins this, I'm going to shoot
Here goes
myself.
Ethan Thompson to the high side now. Ethan Thompson does not have any help at the present moment. Youngman to the bottom. Ethan Thompson to the high. Brian Boyd out front, but he's the lap down. He's just basically using these guys. Is he going to block? Here comes Andrew. Set him Youngman to the middle.
A little
Oh,
dicey down there.
Down. That's going to hurt his chances. Brad Hunt's there running right now in the fourth spot on the top side. Turn number 3 into 3 and 4. Ethan Thompson comes down, cuts it off. He's going to take over the lead. Youngman right there. Biznet on their back bumper.
Oh boy!
Oh,
Oh no!
No.
Gets out of it. That's going to leave it to Andrew Biznet to come across the line.
Oh!
Biznet wins. Biznet gets his first victory and an exciting finish at Daytona. Way to go, Bizzy.
Wow!
Buddy, my pick coming home first, blinking out. What a finish.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
that's the second time. Man, do I love Daytona. I don't care who says they hate it. This is the best damn racing that you can possibly have. That's twice now. I'm going to walk out of here with a heart attack. I got work tomorrow. I ain't going to be worth a crap.
Yeah, let's get another look at that last half a lap there.
And look at that. We don't have to debate. We don't even have to debate the picks now. Because Jay's pick won the race.
I'm telling you, what a win.
Looking behind Ethan
Congratulations.
Thompson, you see Brad Youngman chasing him down. Brian Boyd on the outside.
And he's
Coming to the backstretch as he sets it up to go to the inside. They touch.
It looked like
that's
Ethan
it
might
for
have got a
them.
little loose.
Yeah,
I don't know
Ethan
if our
and
net
Youngman
code,
both
one of the
got
two.
loose. No, they just got loose coming out of there because you saw right there. See him come down across, and then Ethan either went down the block.
Yeah, I don't think there was
And
any
there was
fault there.
Nope.
Getting loose and
No, I
slowed
mean,
him
you're
up,
talking
and,
to
and
the
Brad
end,
couldn't
yeah.
get on the brakes fast enough. Unfortunate for Brad and Ethan, they were both looking pretty good there. Unfortunately, wrecked it a little early.
And then
At
you had
of
the end
5
of the
and
race.
69 across the line.
Yeah, and then right here, Brad. Oh, that was definitely netcode.
That was
there.
definitely netcode.
Yeah, there was a good
It was
foot
a
between those
netcode
two
there.
cars.
So yeah, so Larry Patrick, but man, he had a good run too. Brought it home. What is the final? Where did they finish? Woo-hoo-hoo.
Larry Patrick got second, Andrew Biznett,
Yeah,
and
he
then
brings it
Bradley
home
Hunt.
second. Wow,
Oh,
Bradley Hunt
man.
third. Man,
As
Brad Youngman brings it
Biznett-
home fourth. Christopher Rawlings had a
Biznett
good night.
burns
brings
it
home
down.
fifth.
Yeah, as Biznett removes what's left of those good years, he's always said that we can interview him while he's in the car. So let's
Well,
see if we can
definitely
interview
not
him while he
fuel,
burns it
'cause he's
down.
burning it down, I'll tell you that now. Wow,
Hey,
what a
Andrew,
race.
tell me up in the booth, you got a read on us, buddy?
You guys hear me this time?
we
Yeah,
can hear you this time, now that you won.
I heard you guys pull me in earlier, and I was talking, and I couldn't hear you. But
Well, you were blinking quite a bit. Do you think that might have had something to do with it? Or did you realize you were blinking out?
I knew I was, and I put myself on mute, and I begged for it to go the way with like 2 laps to go. I was like, please don't do this to me. I think there's just, I don't know what's going on. I've never had this issue, and all of a sudden now in the past month, it's been weird. So I'm gonna try doing a wired connection. See what I can do, but hey, listen, I was resigned to finishing 3rd or 4th coming to the.
Dude, you
out of turn
won
four.
a race.
No, you won.
You won.
You won Daytona. You that Daytona, brother. Bring it on. Bring that excitement. I want to hear.
I'll be. My heart is still racing. Holy crap! You guys that race with me know I love these super speedways for a reason because you never know what's gonna happen. I don't know if you noticed there was a group of us that were in Uber fuel save mode.
Yeah, we did notice that.
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah, because our group was going like 165, and then all of a sudden, a couple of laps later, I think it was Rollins was leading. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't play the fuel mileage very well." I was like, "Oh, what?"
Well, he had a pretty commanding lead, about 12 seconds ahead of everybody before he ran out of
Right.
gas.
Yeah, I mean,
he wanted to get to the front. And God bless him. He got there.
Sure did. Well,
But-
you led the most important lap, and that's what counts, man. It's been you've been racing quite a few seasons here. What's it feel like to finally get a W here in season 6, and with all these guys you've been racing with season after season?
I mean, it feels great getting a win anywhere. It doesn't matter what league or if it's an official or whatever races. I wish I could say I'm carrying this momentum, but I won't be here next week because we have our 11 days of annual training for the guard coming up. So I won't be here on next Monday. So I guess I'm carrying a winning streak into my off week. But
Well,
you know,
heck
when
yeah.
Well,
Kill
don't
it
get
off the
cold.
track.
well, when we had that caution, it was about, I think, what,
It was-
45, 46 laps to go, and I was like,
Yeah, you
well,
came back with
this is
39 to go.
weird.
So
But it worked. It worked out. We saved enough fuel, and I really owe Brian Boyd when he came back up to the he came back up on the track, and he was like, I'll stay in front of you guys. I'm like, all right, we all need
Wow.
to save like 4 laps of fuel, so this is perfect.
He was definitely your best friend for a little while there.
absolutely.
Well, hey man, congratulations! You finally pulled home the W, and luckily in this season we do have one drop week, so you got a whole bunch of valuable points, and you won't be missing out too much if you're losing or missing a race next week.
Right.
Before we let him go,
Mhm.
because he actually won the race and he was a broadcast, he was a booth pick.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
he was.
Okay,
Who picked me this time?
Jay.
Yeah, that's right.
We
I
had we had a bet, Mr. Biznet, and I won't call you your other nickname.
Blinky.
No, Blinky might have to be a second nickname after tonight. I'll agree to
Well,
that.
well, we definitely called him Blinky tonight, but he's earned a different one.
Yes.
Got a lot of congratulations pouring on the.
So
on
we
the
did have a
YouTube chat, by
bet,
the way.
and so since you are the actual race winner and not just the best finisher of the booth, do you have a suggestion on what the result of the bet should be?
You're talking about just of you guys who you picked,
Yes.
or you?
And I picked you and you won, so hands down, I'm the winner. So give me something good to throw at these guys there.
I mean, there's man, you put a lot of pressure on me now. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, picking a winner at the super speedways here is like, you could throw
Like
a dart
winning
at
the
the board
lottery?
and still maybe not pick, who the winner is.
Right.
Man, I honestly don't know, Andy. I will yield to your veteran experience on that for this one.
How about you let us know? Think about
Yeah,
it.
there
Yeah,
you
let
go.
us know, and we'll do in
I
2
will let you
weeks.
guys know before the broadcast
Well, we told the viewership that it will be revealed
Next
what
week.
the result is next week.
Yeah.
So we have a week to figure this out.
I will either let you know before the what's next Monday, the 1st or something like that, the 30th. What's next Monday? The 27th. I think I might that night, our schedule the way it is, I might be able to come in on Discord on my phone or my laptop. So if I don't get to you guys before the broadcast, I will be on the broadcast and I will announce it then.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
that'll
You're
work.
always welcome to
Sounds
join us in
good.
the broadcast when you're not racing, bud.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I appreciate that, guys.
Well, thank you, Mr. Biznet. We appreciate you. Appreciate your service. For anybody who didn't know, this man put an awesome performance together, playing taps on Memorial
Yes.
Day.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And where can you find that, Andrew Biznet?
So I usually post that. So I did it. I've done it several times this year already. The big one was the other day, was part of 100 Nights of Taps at Gettysburg, where the organization it's part of the Lincoln Fellowship. So every night from Memorial Day to Labor Day, somebody performs taps, weather permitting, at the Soldiers Monument in the National Cemetery at Gettysburg. I've been very fortunate to take part of that. There are a lot of amazing people who do it. And I will have to provide a link to my YouTube, or maybe I can post it up on our Facebook page. I got to get the video edited a little bit, but
Yeah, if you do that, we'll provide that for everybody next week.
Yep.
Because it was a fantastic performance, so I think everybody should check it out.
Any chance?
Absolutely.
Being a military musician, it's part of my job as a trumpet player to do funeral honors and to render taps when I'm available. But we often consider it for the immediate performances for those who just recently passed away, honoring those recent. But at a time, thinking about Gettysburg, at a time when so many gave their life in a very terrible time in our country, but also at a very important battle. A lot of every year they give out a coin to everybody who does it, military or not, and they honor one of the soldiers who is laid at rest at Gettysburg. So that's pretty awesome thing that I do.
And
Yeah,
do
very
you
very
know
Yeah,
who
cool
the
stuff.
soldier? Do you know who that soldier was the day you played?
I wish I thought to bring my coin with me. I can get back to you and give you the information on that for next week, but
That'd
I
be
believe
awesome.
it is
Just
someone who served in one of the New York regiments.
fantastic. Yeah, we'd love to shout that name out, of course, for their family, and that'd be awesome. But yeah, your performance then was awesome. Your performance tonight was
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Yeah,
dude, dude,
we've got to get you
Andrew,
back with
you
these other
beat out
drivers.
two of the biggest rivalries as far as your Army. You beat out the flying guys from the Air Force. I think it's you time to let that Army shine. What did they say in the Army?
Hoorah, baby.
That's
Hoorah.
right.
Oh
Hoorah!
boy!
Yes, sir.
Congrats on the
Thank you,
win.
Andrew. Thank you
This
for your
bit-
service. Thank you for for everything you do for us, and we appreciate you. And we will look forward to sharing that performance to everybody.
Absolutely.
And thank all you guys in the booth again. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to watch this tomorrow. I'm going to watch it extra hard tomorrow because not only is it super speedway, but I won. But you know, I love watching it and see all the things you guys do, especially the opening video. It's beautiful and I love that. So thank you to all of you up there as well too.
It's our
It's
pleasure
our
every
pleasure.
week, and you make it our pleasure every week as well. So thank you.
Spoiler alert for
Absolutely.
when you watch this tomorrow. You won.
I don't know. You never know what happens in these videos in the replay sometimes. So
Well, that is one of the most congratulations I've ever seen come through the YouTube chat. So I got to put you up
Yeah.
here with your drivers so you can get back and celebrate, buddy. Thank you for the show and thank you for your service.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Congrats, bud.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Wow, Biznet won one, and in great fashion, I should say.
Yeah.
That was a
on that
heck
Couldn't
of a
have been
finish.
more
Speedway.
exciting.
Super Speedway.
Yeah.
All right,
and-
we got
Hey,
a
real quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
We you got Patrick in. I did tell Patrick and Hunt they would be coming in, but I want to check with the YouTube real fast because we got a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, we did.
if I may. So great racing all by David May. Tyler Daniels, our man, says what a finish. David May again, good racing. Boyd, good going and nice win. Janelle, congrats, Biznet. Jim, our lovely race control from last season. Thank you, Jim.
Gentleman Jim Downham.
Yep.
We love you, Jim. We do miss you on Mondays, buddy.
Sure
but
do.
understandable. He says, congrats, Busy. Puppet Master. Fuel got me. Congrats, Biznet. And the Puppet Master is
Boyd.
Is Boyd.
Yes.
David May again. Good win, Andrew. Ace May 3. Good race all. Good win, Andrew. Nice driving. Boyd. Stephen Green checks in. Good race, guys. Ace May 3. Nice job all. Tyler Downs again. Congratulations, Andrew. And Terry Lloyd. Terrific job, Brian Boyd. Mom and I are proud of you. Brian Boyd, good gas try. You almost had him. Thank you, Terry Lloyd, for checking in with us.
Absolutely.
everybody.
Biznet winning that race really set everybody off. I think that's someone that a lot of people have wanted to see get that win. And it's huge. It's huge. Biznet's been running multiple seasons. For him to finally get it, amazing.
Absolutely.
So we've also got Larry Patrick, one of our part-timers, doesn't always make every race, has a lot of speed, hasn't pulled off a W
New
yet.
member.
But he did pull off P2.
P2.
Somehow, Larry, it's
In
popping
an
up in the booth.
amazing fashion, he
You got-
did it too.
You got a read on us, buddy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
How was it finishing P2, getting kind of sideways there with Bradley Hunt at the end?
I told him when I got sideways, I came over the radio. I told him, I said, "Look, man, I'd have done the same thing."
Me too.
And then I told Andrew, I said, "Hey, if I'd have got to your rear bumper, I was hitting you." I was like, "I don't know what." I was coming through you, but no. I tried to lay back up there in that fifth, and didn't want to really, trying to play the fuel game there and just make sure I had enough fuel. About 2 laps, going to that last lap, I was going to make my move, try to lay back, and then make my run. By the time I did it, it was too late. The guys already started to jump to the outside. it was a business decision there on the backstretch in that last lap. We had 2 guys that went high and then 2 that went low, and I really debated because I had to run. They gave me enough gap to split the middle, and I debated doing it. And then I was like, you know what? There's no point in wrecking everybody. Let me just. So I jumped low. I mean, I kind of knew when I did that I conceded not winning.
But you blocked the rest of the field to get second, so that was a good job on that.
Yeah, I didn't know that the 2 guys were gonna wreck there because I was like, well, here comes the 5th, and then I see 2 guys go down to the infield, and I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, they didn't time their wreck in the right area. You really want to wreck on the front stretch, not the back stretch.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you're Army as well, are you not, Larry?
Yeah, active duty over at Fort Bragg.
All right, so we got 2 Army guys beating out the 2 high-flying Air Force gentlemen who have been just dominating this series. So I think we get another what?
Say again.
What's
what
the
does
Army
the
say?
Army say?
I don't, man.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Come on now.
I'm probably the least person to do that. Being active duty, I don't even wear my uniform home at this point. I take it off at work.
Oh, we still need it. We still need it. Come on,
Yeah,
give me
come on
one,
in.
Larry.
There we go.
Hey, Larry, first of all, I want to be one of the first to thank you for your service and everything that you do for us, especially as an active duty member of our military.
Yes.
It can't be easy every day. So we thank you because of people like you. We are able to put on this race and come up in this booth and have a good time and joke around because of people like you. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the support. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes to a strong home life and, wife taking care of the kids and stuff like that. It makes my life easier. So at the end of the day, I mean, as much as it is, about the guys that are on the front lines, man, families take just an incredible grunt on what we do. So,
So Larry, what's your background? How long you been in? What's your how far are you going? Let's hear about a little bit about you.
yeah, so currently I'm 8 years in, joined back in 2014. I'm a computer technician. Joined up, just plan on doing 4 years and getting out. Ended up re-enlisting, getting to my 8th year. ETS dates in 2 more years, so at the 10-year mark. So it's kind of the, either sign my life
Your
away.
career or out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Should I stay or should I go?
Went airborne while I was in AIT. They gave us the option. I was like, yeah, jumping out of airplane sounds like fun. It is, but that was a terrible decision. My body hurts at this point. But no, I mean, like I said, just I've been at Fort Bragg the entire time and just kind of enjoying the ride at this point.
Heck yeah, man. So you plan? Do you plan on staying past the 10-year mark, going career?
I think so. I mean, I'm leaning towards it. I think the bigger question is, do I go warrant or do I stay enlisted?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and even in that respect, I'm kind of leaning towards warrant. I mean, they get paid more money.
I like money.
Yeah,
And I understand. I don't know shit. Hey, listen, I don't know.
Hey, that's a $10 tip.
Sorry, that's only on back talk. I don't know poop about the military, except like my brother-in-law, right? So my brother-in-law went Naval Academy, went Marines after that, and then he had a choice, right? At some point, it was we go career if they accept you, and then or you're out, right? And so he went career. So I kind of understand where Larry's at here in this moment of time in his career path.
Yeah, and you mentioned family too. I mean, it is a lot on families to have someone enlisted within your own home. So it's a family decision to be made as well.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's one of the things. When when we first moved here, like within the first week at the unit, they were like, "Oh, hey, you're deploying in like 5 months," and I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool, man." So I mean, stuff happens quick.
Right. It's about that time the wife gets pregnant. And
So
the funniest
before
part is it was too.
Before we let Larry go, his fellow racer, Brian Boyd, is going to chime in on the chat. Said, you better stay in and enlisted.
Yep. NCOs lead the way.
NCOs lead the way.
Yeah, I mean he's not wrong. I mean he's not wrong. I've reached E6 staff sergeant in 8 years, so I get looked at for E7 and 2. But I mean, sorry, Brian. I mean, warrants get paid more, and they're like overpaid E4s, man. Sham all the time. You can never find them. Sounds like a good life to me.
There you go.
Indeed. Well,
After 8
Larry,
years,
heck if
all we can say is thank you for
Yes, thank
hanging in there 8 years to defend us, to let us do this. I
Right.
mean, there's been a lot of shit that's going on in 8 years.
Hey,
language.
Poop.
TDR
There's
still,
been a
dude.
lot of
TDR.
poop that goes on in 8 years. And you've been on the front lines of that, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
But heck of a race. Bring it home second. And he did it in style. He did it in fashion. And I'll tell you what, doesn't get any more exciting than that. I would look forward to calling you out there a little bit more as you're going on. And
We got one more for him.
Okay.
David May comes in. I spent 2 weeks at Bragg helping brother move. Saw him jump at Fort Benning. I did no sleep the whole time. So I'm assuming Fort Benning, is that near Fort Bragg?
Yeah, Fort Benning's down in Georgia, but Fort Benning's where basic airborne school is. So yeah, you go through their 3-week course, and then you basically wind up with all your training to you got to complete 5 jumps to become airborne certified. So yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's a terribly tough course, but it's definitely rough on the body.
Did you enjoy
I can
jumping
imagine.
out of a perfectly good airplane?
You would think most people are scared, and I really wasn't. I kind of just shut my mind off, and as soon as I got out, the first thing I thought, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And
I
then
mean,
hit
if the
ground,
chute
and then my
opens,
mind
that's what I
changed.
would think. I would say, hey, as soon as the chute opens, yep, this is beautiful. But I would be pooping myself before that chute opens.
Chute opens pretty quick, but I tell you what, that chute doesn't open, then I guess it's not my problem after about 10 seconds. So, I mean, either which way, it'll be all right.
And my fellow broadcasters will thank me for saying pooping.
Yes.
Way better than the other word.
I try to watch my language. I mean, we don't watch our language too much.
I do too, but
Yeah.
Mondays we got the podcast, so I'm in the mode.
Right. Well, you got to remember this is TDR. This is family friendly. We do
That
have
was
children
3
that watch
hours
this
ago.
show, so yes.
Yeah.
Children
And on,
watch this show.
and on that note, Larry, I'm going to get you back with
Yep.
the drivers.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
So
show. Thank you
congratulations
for
on
your
your second.
service.
I appreciate it, guys.
We got at least one more to get through here. Got Bradley Hunt, who came in P3. Brad was the one involved with that incident with P2 going across the line. Hunt, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, P3. Good points, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
It looked fun
I
out
gotta
there.
ask.
You started in the
ask.
back, came to the front.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. You started in the back. And to be honest, when you started in the back, I called you poultry.
Well, when I was qualifying, since it was open qualifying, I mean, I didn't have anybody to, run with, so I just ran my 2 laps that I pulled off. I was like, all right, I qualified.
What you're saying is you have no friends.
I mean, I thought you were my friend, Andy.
Listen to the podcast.
On the track.
On the track.
You had no friends on the track.
On the track, you didn't have any friends.
And a rivalry is born.
Right? That's how they do it.
But no, Brad, P3, I mean, you did start in the back. You had to fight all day long. How'd you get there? Was it a little bit of skill? Was it mostly luck on your end? What was your fuel strategy like?
Well, towards the end, that last, fuel run, all of us that were right there up front were like, how many laps do you got left? Are you good? Are you good? And they're like, we're like short by 1, or like we're like right there. So
yeah,
I know Biznet congratulations to him on the win. He was talking about like we were going around like 165 miles per hour around Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah, Boyd came in like an angel and even a lap down kind of picked up that draft and helped the leaders out a little bit there on fuel.
Right.
Yeah, he did. He's all like, I'm not gonna make it. And like he's like him and Walter, which we gave him the nickname of Ross Chastain.
Right.
Yes. we picked up on that.
We saw that tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we're going into pit. And then they're like, is that y'all behind us? And then we're like, yeah. He's like, just hook up to me. I'll help y'all save fuel. So we're all like, all right, thanks. He's like, I'm not gonna win it, so might as well help somebody else win.
What were your thoughts when Christopher Rollins? So he actually picked up some lap traffic and wound up with about a 12-second lead at one point with just a handful of laps to go. Were you guys looking at his numbers and kind of thinking like, oh, he might pull this off?
No, with how fast that he took off, we knew that his fuel wasn't going to last. He was going to have to pit, and he wound up being 10 laps short.
Ooh.
And so that's when he went into pit, and we're all like, see, there it was. And we went around him and took off about a 20-second lead on him.
Did you see any of what happened between Ethan Thompson and the gentleman he was running next to on the backstretch?
I did not.
Well, you'd already cleared them by then. That's good.
Yeah. Now, the one that was fun was when Ross Chastain and Boyd, Ross Chastain came down and they both went sideways and I went underneath them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a. I'm not sure what's going on. That's another thing. There was a lot of guys that were getting loose off of 4 tonight, which we never really see in these cars yet. With the new plant or features that they came out with, is it making it that way now in traffic, or were you experiencing anything the looseness off of 4?
Yes, I experienced some looseness off of 4 and 2, a little bit.
2 is normal. We've been seeing 2. That's been like their mainstay for the past few, well, at least the past 3 months that we've been watching these things. But now 4, that's kind of we saw it at Dover. We saw it this week, and I know it just had the update. So we think that that may have played a little bit of an issue with some of that incidents that happened off of 4. But no, I mean, to come from the back to finish 3rd, and then you tried to take. It looked like you net coded Patrick. So I think if you were going to try it, you hit him the wrong way because you put him in front of you across the start finish line where he needed to go the other way.
Yeah, you gotta spin him up. No, don't spin him down.
Yeah, you don't spin him down. You spin him up. So
you need that wall to slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, let's see if I can just get underneath them real quick, and no, that didn't work out. But it was fun.
It did look like net code though, because there was a lot of space. When you go back and watch the broadcast, you'll see it. There was a lot of space in between you and Patrick. So I think there was a little bit of net code there that played into that. But man, to bring it home 3rd, you were fighting for the lead at one point. I think you were. Didn't you? You did lead the lap, didn't you? At one point, did you get around Bisnet? I know you and him were working together.
No, I was like when I was in 2nd, Bisnet got around me, and then we went upward and got around Robin, Pardon, and Rollins, and I just helped bump him up to the front. And me and him were just 1-2.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you guys had a great race, though. I mean, it was a fun race to watch, fun race to call. A lot of storylines tonight. It was a little bit of a dull moment there in the middle, but man, I mean, what a run! So congratulations on your 3rd place. It's definitely going to shake up some points going into next week. So keep up the momentum. Hopefully, we'll see you more towards the top there and fighting towards the end of this championship. Dustin, do you have anything for Brett?
No, just good race, bud. I got some weather moving through, so I'm just making sure I don't lose connection here. So I've been listening. But congrats on 3rd place, Brad. You ran good tonight. It was fun watching you. You ran a super speedway right. You kind of just stayed out of trouble and worked your way up to the front and finished up there. Your car was alive at the end.
Yeah, as one of the guys says in the TDR family, position by attrition.
Yep.
Yeah. Very famous words by a very famous number in the community.
I thought you were gonna say hit your marks and have fun.
Yeah.
Hey, say that again.
I thought you were gonna say hit your marks and have fun.
Better than saying my bad.
Right? Sorry.
Well, Brad, go back with your drivers, celebrate the podium finish. Good
Yeah.
points tonight. As always, thank you for the show and thank you for your service.
Good run.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Well, I got him back up there in the pit road party. We got a handful of drivers left. Anybody in particular you guys want to try to get in touch with?
We
I
haven't
know
spoken to
Brian
Brad
Boyd had a
Youngman.
lot of support. Brad Youngman has turned his radio off.
Christopher Rawlings had a good run. He was leading for so
I need to talk to Ross Chastain. I told him to stop running into people and win the race. He apparently did not listen to what I had to say, and just he just had to run into a second person.
Hey Ryan, this is Tommy in the booth. You got a read on us?
So anyway, he had a fast car tonight, but he decided to run it into people twice. And he was my pick, and he lost me the bet. So
Wasn't on purpose.
welcome Ryan Walter. First of all, I'll thank you for two things. Okay. First, I'll thank you for your service and what you've done for our country and what you do for us that allows us to come up in this booth, have fun, bring you into this, and make fun of you. So thank you for what you do, honestly. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for being a service member. The second thing I want to thank you for is for losing the bet for me. Because I told you when we brought you into the booth earlier to stop running into... Yeah, I said stop running into people and go win the race. Well, you just decided that you, not me, would run into other people. Will you walk us through that second incident that obviously lost me the bet?
I don't know what exactly happened that second time. I got loose off 4 real quick, and I wasn't getting loose off there, and I wasn't even turning sharp or nothing that I could see. And next thing you know, I got loose, went down, hit Brian Boyd.
And he did not see that coming.
No, that was on accident.
No, you straight up turned left from 6 miles away.
You won't convince Andy any different.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you what the car was feeling, but Andy's got his own mind there.
I'm just like, how am I supposed to pick you as my winner? Because
I told you you picked wrong as soon as you pulled me up here.
No. Here's the way it goes. As everybody knows, I am number 7. Through TDR, I am number 7. Get off of it. You're not allowed to have it. Well, you decided to pick 77, which would be my second option.
I picked it for a different. I picked
Ryan.
77 for a
Ryan has
different
my
reason.
heart because he loves the 7s, right? And now you disappoint me.
I picked 77 for a different reason.
But you turned left from 6 miles away to hit another driver.
That was not on purpose.
You used to run the 49. Isn't that 7 times 7?
Yeah, there you go.
Now we're getting too technical and math is
Yeah.
involved, and it's after 10. So, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe while we have Ryan in here, maybe we should also bring Brian Boyd in here. and
Yeah,
ask
let's
him
bring
how he
Brian Boyd and let's get this straightened
felt
out.
about,
Yeah, we'll let these guys talk about it. Hey, Brian, Tommy up in the booth. We got Ryan up here joining us as well. You got a read on us?
Yes, sir, I do. How's it going?
All right, so Brian, first of all, I'm going to be the first one to tell you 100% thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for your service to our country and allowing us to come up here and make fun of both you and Ryan.
Hey, not a problem.
And we love you for it. Second of all, I want to know how you feel about Ryan turning left from 6 miles away to take you out of the race today.
Well, should I answer that by letting the cat out of the bag or not, Ryan?
Let the cat out of the bag. Just let him know.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming from a teammate that I'm trying to get sponsored by Mission 22.
There we go.
Oh no.
Ryan.
Oh,
There goes that
you
sponsorship.
Ryan. Now, okay, Brian. So let's shout out some sponsors, right? You have the Mission 22, and I want you to talk about that. But you also have another sponsor that somebody in TDR, and we don't have to go into who that was able to get you hooked up with. And who is that second sponsor as well?
The only sponsor, the only people that can actually make a real setup, and that's McConey Setup Shops.
Absolutely, their setups, your victories.
Brian is now a new McConey Setup Shop driver, thanks to Jeff McConey, right? I believe somebody in TDR reached out to them. That doesn't need to be divulged, but you are now a McConey Setup driver, and that has to feel good, right?
Yes, sir. It doesn't just feel good; it feels fabulous. Every McConey setup I've ever ran, I've finished in the top 3 every time.
Same here.
Okay, so back to you and Ryan. You guys did not see that coming. What was your reaction when that happened? Did you talk to him about it and figure out what exactly was going on? Did you have that straightened out? Because it looked like later on in the race, when you were in front of Ryan, you kind of jumped out of his way to jump down on the bottom to go on the high side to him and Ethan.
Once it was just explained, he got loose. It is what it is. You're at Daytona, so I just didn't expect a hard left-hand turn from 77.
He turned left. He turned left from 6 miles away, Brian.
I could really add drama to it.
Turn either.
I thought I heard him mumble something like, "Well, here comes some more drama because I'm going to go ahead and set this up."
No, I as soon as I felt it getting loose, I'm like, oh, it's getting loose. Next thing you know, I didn't even know I hit anybody on the inside. All I know is I hit the outside wall.
I couldn't help but notice at the end of that incident, for the second time, Ethan Thompson got a real good look at your paint scheme.
Yeah.
So Brian, and Ryan, I'll let you finish here in a second. I'm gonna be Kanye. I'll let you finish. But Brian, I do want to hear about Mission 22 real fast.
Yes.
Okay, so Mission 22 is a non-for-profit they put on a program for soldiers that are contemplating suicide. And those that don't know what the 22 stands for, it's what we average daily as a nation of soldiers that commit suicide. It's 22 a day right now on average.
That's way too many.
And they put together all kinds of programs to fund trying to get those soldiers that are thinking about suicide back to a place in reality and in life that they can self-sustain and not take that avenue.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that is a huge mission, not only mission and charity, right? And
That's
we
correct.
support that here at TDR 100%. We're behind that. We're glad that you are sponsored by them and can spread that mission through this league and through TDR.
Yes, sir.
Brad or Ryan, go ahead and finish.
I think you already finished off Brad.
The two wrecks I was in were, the first one was I didn't know I was making Ethan loose. The second one, I got myself loose. I didn't even know I was hit. I didn't hit him that hard, but he didn't let me know I was making him loose by giving him a little bump draft. But at the end of the day, none of them were.
So at the end of the day, we got some racing incidents. You guys are all friends. You guys are good. Right. You guys are working together. I'd love to hear both of your stories as far as, are you in the military? How long were you in the military? Tell us a little bit of background. Then we'll start with Brian.
Spent some years active duty infantry, 11 Charlie Mortarman. I'm currently still serving, but I'm in the Army Reserves now, and so it was 10 on active side, and now I'm working on my 13th or 14th in the reserves.
That is awesome, and we thank you for continuing your service with us.
That's why if Larry's listening, he better continue.
Ryan, let's hear about you, buddy.
I started out my journey being 8 years in the fire department, volunteer side. Went to calls as many as I could. Most of the time it was over 200 calls a year. We averaged almost 500 fire calls for our fire department. And then I decided to go active duty Navy, which I'm currently at. I'm a MP, but we call it a Master at Arms. We provide security for ships, bases. We do a lot of security across the whole globe. I'm actually currently thinking about switching to a damage controlman, which is basically a firefighter for the Navy.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure yet. And I'm
That
also
is-
contemplating staying in for 20. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm still contemplating it and talking to people here in the Navy.
Well, as
That
we
is
mentioned before,
awesome.
you know, military career decisions are tough decisions to make, and we look forward to following your careers as we follow your careers on the track. Great performances tonight, despite not finishing where you necessarily may have wanted to.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, the race is secondary. The finish is, you know, secondary. This is about the brotherhood of this league and what TDR provides for them. We hope that you guys enjoy the brotherhood between each other. It's something we can't, us civilians, can't be involved in
Nope.
because we aren't a part of that.
To add to that,
you know, I'm sorry.
to add to that, me and Ryan, we've been linking up every day, all week long. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. Last 5-6 days, anyways.
Awesome.
Yeah.
8-9
And
hours.
We've been working together pretty well.
Good.
Which is awesome. Ryan's been with us, you know, quite a little while, and Brian, you joined up this season, but we have chatted a little bit, and I know you've chatted with Tommy. We look forward to seeing you at track days, which,
Yes,
by the way,
yes.
you know,
That
Brian
is
is going to
happening.
take part in the track days, and
Wish I
so
could be there.
that's awesome.
But I do have to tell you, you was going to see a different race out of me tonight, and I feel like you did.
You were
I
there.
ran a
race.
great race.
You were there.
Oh, you were great racing tonight. Absolutely. Strategy there kind of put you a little bit on the offside, and then a couple of incidents which weren't your fault kind of got you thrown off a little bit. But to come back and you did definitely show some strength out there. Dustin mentioned to it earlier. You shared some information with him, so you obviously showed some strength. We do have another super speedway coming up later on in the schedule, so we can look forward to seeing more from you later on in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Can I add something in here?
Sure, go ahead.
So first thing is, I didn't tell you what 77 was because we wanted to wait to see if you guys would put 2 and 2 together. And at one point, me and Brian were hooking up at first and second, working together pretty well. And we've been working pretty well together since he came in.
So 77 and 78, so you're teammates.
Mm-hmm.
We got you.
And you decided to wreck your teammate by driving left from 6 miles away.
And
all week he never turned left like that all week. So I just want to add that in there.
It's racing. It's racing, right, Ryan? It's racing, and you're Ross Chastain, so you have to take on that persona when you're out there. You had since Robert Cochran wasn't there to take your anger out on, you had to pick somebody, and the most comfortable person was Brian. We get it. No, we get it.
I'm going to tell you, Brian, though, if I pick you to be the best.
He's only mad because he didn't win. That's the only reason, Ryan.
And you decide to turn left. You decide to turn left from 6 miles away. I have your address, and I'll be knocking on your door.
Show up at track days and support you, right?
I still have one more thing, guys.
Yeah.
I would also like to say to everybody out in TDR, come support you guys out at on Wednesday night. We're going to be racing the sprint cars for a great cause, for cancer awareness, raising money for it. We're gonna be racing Wednesday night. The race starts at 7:30. We're gonna be running McConey setups, which I appreciate. Great setups, and I know me, Brian, and Dustin are in it, and we're gonna represent TDR as well as we can. It's gonna be a great race, fun time. Come out and see it.
Absolutely. We need to have the in the booth. Yep, we had the promoter
Crazy.
up here, and good, Andy.
Yeah, we had them in here promoting during the race, and crazy you mentioned those McCoy setup stuff. I think Tommy or somebody reached out to McConey and said, "Hey, you want to sponsor TDR through this event?" And Jeff McConey stepped up to the plate and said, "Absolutely."
He
and
always does.
provided
Hey, Andy.
setup.
Andy,
Yeah.
do you not find it like a little bit ironic that How to Suck at iRacing is actually sponsoring an event where you picked Ryan Walter to take out half the field?
It's kind of yeah. I mean, Ryan, why do you suck at iRacing? Especially
Tonight on the last bit, I was not good. I was leading too many laps there at the end for me to
And Ryan,
even be
that-
competitive with you.
Ryan, that just
There
goes to
you go,
show,
Ryan.
like, I got some love for you in my heart, picking you to win or be my driver, and but now you've
I told you
disappointed.
as soon as you told me that you picked me, you picked the wrong person. I told Dustin that the first time he picked
Well,
me.
I
this
didn't know
season.
you were going to
All
turn
right?
left. I didn't know you were going to turn left from 6 miles away. I had no idea you were doing that. And
He thought he was
I didn't even know I was doing
to
that.
take
all
out
right?
your teammate.
I didn't even know I was
Who
doing
would have
that.
thought? I'm going to turn left 6 miles away to take out my teammate. Nobody gets it.
I didn't even know I hit him until he said, "Hey, Chastain, you hit me." I'm like, I did.
We did allude to that you are now defending the
That's right.
TDR belt of my bad because you have taken over Dakota Bruff's
right.
He had the title of my bad. He
My
would
bad.
run into that, but you run into more people than him.
Current.
Hey, I will tell you when it's my fault, and I'll say it straight up like a man should. And
It's
when I hit
always
you,
your fault.
even when it's not my fault, I will say it's my bad. All right.
There you go.
Just so
dying
people
here.
don't get mad and we have a fun night, I'll say my bad so nobody starts getting
If
mad.
you are
about it.
6 miles away,
Yeah.
miles away, turning left, it is your fault.
All right.
If
We-
there's
we
ever a
got that,
caution,
yeah.
it's apparently my fault. So
Right, there you go. Brian, you
I
did
love-
I'm going to go back to Brian because his family was watching tonight. I'm not sure if they're still going on with this banner going on, but I mean, he can give a shout out to his mom and his sister. I think we're watching tonight.
It was my mom and my aunt Terry, so I want to
Okay.
thank them for coming out. And I also had a few friends, David May, I think his
Yeah.
wife was watching as
Yep.
well.
Mhm.
I also had another one of my friends. He's in the military. He's currently stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. He was
Oh, thank you.
watching,
Yes, thank you.
and I think the lady that I talked to that I worked with, her name's Carrie, from Mission 22. She was watching at a point too.
Oh, I when you said lady, you're talking to. So
No.
should we? No.
She is the PR person, PR spokesman for Mission 22.
Well, there you go. So Mission 22 is a great sponsor. Glad to call you guys out there.
Carrie, if you're out there, if you were out there, thank you, because Mission 22 is a phenomenal organization. Something we can get behind and something we love. And thank you for sponsoring Brian, because we appreciate everything that Brian does for us and our country.
Absolutely. And these guys put their lives on the line every single day. They go out there, and 22 is way too much. It should be mission 0, should be the ultimate goal, because there's no reason in the world why we as a country throw away our veterans like we do, and I hate to say it, but that's what happens. And if we don't have communities like this and Mission 22 and all these other things that are out there, TDR, the vets and first responders, like some of these brotherhoods can go, the VFW, the all the other things that are out there, we need to get involved with our vets and point them in the right direction, because there's no reason why our heroes need to go down like they do. And I support Mission 120 or Mission 22 100%. And I employ everybody out there listening.
Amen.
Give what you can to Mission 22, because it should be Mission 0. That should be the ultimate goal, and it should happen a lot quicker than it should. We should definitely put a lot more aside for our military than we do. And I just had to put that out there.
You
To
know,
add
Jay,
to that,
go ahead, Brian.
to add to that, if there was any veterans that are watching and you don't have anything to do with your downtime, this is the perfect scenario for you. This league is great. They support all their veterans. This simulator, iRacing, is a great way to wash away all that negativity that you may have moving around in that brain. This gives me my rinse and repeat for every day.
Amen.
And it helps me. So put that in your mind. Think about it, because yes, some people may call it a game. Yes, some people may call it a simulator, but you can really develop some friendships out there. David May that came in, uh, I met him through racing and officials, and me and him race together every single night now. And
Yep.
Awesome.
He's always there to listen to. Like, if I'm having a bad time, he's someone that I can talk to, and you get that in iRacing. The community is far tighter than what people think, and
Yep,
it's even
that's-
more so with TDR.
And then that's the goal, right? To provide a community where maybe not necessarily you talk about the deep stuff, but just having someone there to talk to when you're having a bad day, man. Sometimes just having a buddy to tough it out with makes it that much better.
Especially me working with Brian Boyd the past week has been a fun time. I've clicked with him pretty well. Clicked with a lot of people in TDR, but I've seemed like I've clicked with him a lot better than most, especially on the racing side. It's been a lot of fun racing with him, and also learning and helping each other out at the same time.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about, man. Building that tight bond. Just building that tight bond, you know.
I'm sorry, but Ethan just threw it in.
Yeah, Ethan
just threw it in his head, and you can come get wrecked by Chastain. So come on out.
Ross Chastain, the real Ross Chastain, is gonna sue us. Y'all know that, right?
Chastain, he is my neighbor, so I love Chastain. I'm a big Chastain fan.
Before we get out of here, I gotta piggyback on Jay a little bit.
Okay. Why? What I do now?
And Jay saying, we toss our vets out. Okay, it's not us. It's not the people that care about the vets that are doing that.
No, it's not us, and
but it's our system, right?
Yep.
And I don't want to blame anyone in particular. I'm not gonna, blame the left, the right, the middle, whatever. It's always been that way. We don't take care of them. It's the reason we have back charities. Okay,
but I want to add to that for sure, Andy.
Yeah, give me just a moment. Back charities is, was started to help the people in TDR, but help our veterans, and that's why we sent a vet to get the SGB, because he needed it. It was something he needed to improve his life. That's something that our nation, our Veterans Association, our Veterans healthcare system will provide for them. We were able to provide for them to do this, and he was able to change his life and give himself a better life after what he did for us in serving our country. And if you haven't heard, go listen to the podcast with him on it and realize what he went through while he was serving our country and defending us. This is why we have things like back charities. So I just wanted to piggyback on what Jay said, and we do. There's people out there, TDR, back charities, we care about our vets. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just saying, everything you said is 110% true, you know, but I feel like the system is broken, but this where the system's broken, there's a missing link in that chain, and it starts with soldiers being let go the wrong ways by their chain of command, and I think that the chain of command is the start of that failure for that soldier. And I've seen it. I've seen good command know that a soldier has a problem, and they keep him. They've even extended him or re-enlisted him so that he could get the mental treatments or the mental therapy or whatever it is that he needs. And then I've seen others, and I've seen it firsthand, where one of my friends, when we came back from Iraq in 2006, he had been shot in the chest. He had two entries, one exit, and the Army's way of fixing him up was to put drain tubes in his stomach and go ahead and let him ETS out of the Army. They sent him home with the tube still in place, which that's a command failing, absolutely failing a soldier.
Absolutely, I agree with
Yep,
that.
100%.
So I feel like if there's anybody in command that's listening or watching your broadcast, I feel like they really need to take that little ball of wisdom and put it in their pocket and hold it for a later day. They may need it. But if you have a wounded soldier, whether it's a physical wound or a mental wound, maybe they need to be evaluated before they're let go.
Absolutely, 100%.
So you know, to add to that, the whole system is broken, but it starts where the soldier just gets dropped into the system.
And that's why you have charities out there that have to pick up the pieces, right? Because even after that, like I don't know if you've been to the I'm sure you have because it's your military benefits, but the military why can't I think about it? I think of the name right now. VA. There's things they want to offer you that or won't pay for, won't take care of that you know you need, but you have to go to an outside source to find.
Oh, absolutely. Like here locally where I live, I'm on a wait list right now, 14 months before I can go to the VA. They're backlogged bad for one. And again, that's where there's failures in line that shouldn't have.
Well, we need to hire real doctors, right? We don't need students being our VA doctors.
Exactly.
But that's for another discussion. That's a whole nother discussion. We're not here to bash our government or
No, we're not here to
whatever.
Like I said, it's just shame, you know, the Mission 22, and you know, it's a great cause, and that's what we really need to focus on is, you know, let's get that 22 down to 0. There shouldn't be anything like that. But man, well, let's get back to the racing. It was a great race tonight. We got to wind this thing down. We're about running out of time here. Brian Boyd, congratulations, Ryan Walter. You guys are working great together. Finally put the 77 and 78 together. Great night. Thank you to Brian Boyd for bringing out all the family and bringing attention to everything that goes on in here. Andrew Bisnet, great run, great win, great race. What a finish. Larry Patrick and Bradley Hunt, those two coming in second and third. Couldn't ask for anything better there. What a lively finish with Ethan Thompson and Larry Patrick getting or no, it wasn't Larry Patrick. I'm not even sure who got together with Ethan Thompson there on the back, but
yeah, quite a finish indeed.
Yeah, Brad Youngman and Ethan Thompson got together coming to the end there. So they end up fourth. Rawlings ended up finishing fifth after all that, after he ended up going. So he brought it back to fifth. That was a good run. He kind of slipped that in out of nowhere. We were paying attention to everything else, but yeah, Christopher Rawlings brought it home fifth. So great job there. Ethan Thompson sixth. Brian Boyd seventh. Ryan Walter eighth. And then we got Christmas or Christopher Strawn in ninth. Devin Zimmerman brings it home 10th, so he did bring in a top 10 out of that.
Yeah, Christopher Strawn. That is not Christmas. Christmas is Christopher Rawlings.
Oh, Christopher Rawlings is Christmas. Oh, okay, so Christopher Strawn. And then Sean Green or Stephen Green, Robin Parton, Brian Wright, and Sean Warb, who had a rough night. He had all the opportunity under the caution, just every time that it came out.
I was so happy to see Sean Warb on the track tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, it was great to see him back out there. Miss Captain Paul Vosberg, but he's out fighting fires out there in the Arizona area. So I want to send out my very heartfelt stay safe, bud, and can't wait to see you back on track. Too bad you weren't out there tonight, but we understand. Same thing with Ryan Shelton. Ryan Shelton, I'm not sure what's going on with you, but hopefully everything is okay. So from everybody at TDR up here, we hope everything's okay with you, bud.
Absolutely.
And we can't wait to see what goes on next week as we head. I'm not sure where we're heading next week. Where are we going
Las,
next week, guys?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. We're going to Vegas. So,
Were
ooh,
we
guess
just
what?
there?
No, we were at Dover.
Oh, that's right.
And so with the puns being coming out, you know, the bets and we're going to mention probably every single casino on the strip along with all the puns that Tommy likes to come up with and the
Oh,
betting
yes.
things. So have them ready next week as well as the reveal of what the bet is going to be as I hand out the rest of the boys their punishment for losing to
What a great
Andrew
place
Bisnet.
to unveil a bet. I can feel the puns welling up inside me already.
So absolutely great night. What do you think, Dustin? What was your takes on tonight?
Oh, it was a great race. Fun race to watch. Fun race to call. Always fun with you guys in the booth. Congrats to Andrew Bisnet on the win. You know, it was a hard fought battle. But other than that, I can't wait for Vegas next week. It's gonna be an amazing race there. Ryan Walter, I think, got his first win there.
Yeah, so Ryan Chastain Walter should come. Should provide us some excitement there, as that was his first win. I believe it was in the next gen car, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been one of the reveals for the next gen car. So he has a win in the car at that track. Tommy?
As always, one last shout out to our sponsors, our longtime and continuing sponsors, B&B Wraps at facebook.com/B.B Racing Wraps, Maconi Setup Shop at MaconiSetupShop.com, and of course, Back Charities at BackCharities.com. That is BACC Charities, give back with back. It's been a long time since Andy's closed one out, and I like to say the famous words, but I'll go ahead and let him say it.
There you go, Andy. Take us out, bud.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Hey, I joined tonight because I love Daytona racing. I think it's awesome. I hope I brought some insight to you viewers on how kind of that works, how you run around these super speedways. So exciting, Andrew Bisnet. What a race, buddy! What a race! Congratulations to you tonight. Thank you to all our servicemen and women out there. Thank you. Not only for us being a part of this group. If you're not a part of this group, you need to be. Come on over, join us. Next week is Vegas. We're gonna reveal a bet from last week, but I guarantee you, Vegas coming up, we're gonna be betting big. So join us next week. I can't wait to see y'all. Until then, we'll see you soon.
And we're out.